God, I'm tired. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. This is Monkey in the Morning. I'm Monkey. He's Satsu. Say hi, Satsu.
Hi, Satsu.
How you doing, my friend?
I am doing pretty good, actually.
Yeah, good day.
Yeah, pretty good day. Nothing bad happened. So that's like auto win in my opinion.
Nice. I had a decent day. I'm just tired as shit.
I gotta bring up your chat.
I'm starting the show by yawning at you guys. Sorry, about 10 minutes ago, I just started yawning. I got up this morning probably around 9-ish, I think it was, and I never went back to sleep. So my body's like, hey, we've been awake too long. It's time to go to bed. And I'm like, this is the perfect time to do a show. Guys, we would have been here a little bit earlier, but I got distracted playing a video game. So, hi. Took the last couple of days off. Went and got to see my granddaughter for the first time, Satsu. And, oh, she's so cute. I just sat there holding her and staring at her. Couldn't help it.
Sounds like a grandpa thing to do.
It really is. It really is. And, yeah, got to see my daughter who I haven't seen in forever. And then got to see the other two grandbabies that belong in that household. Only for a few minutes, unfortunately, because we had to drive home and it gets dark at like 3:30 now. God bless, man. We left at like 4 o'clock. And by the time we got home 2 hours later, it was pitch black out. I hate Michigan. I hate Michigan. Why do I live here? None of your damn business.
But Michigan's so amazing.
Ebony says, so you have 5 granddaughters now or anything? Like, yes, I do. Yes, ma'am. Lots of estrogen in my family. Anyway, Satsu, you have a new avatar there. You want to tell the people about it before we jump into our topic for the night?
Well, apparently this election season has completely destroyed all logic and reason because I decided to resurrect my Satsu 2 Cents channel, which was like banished to the shadow realm. It was gone. And I logged in on my Satsu 2 Cents and it literally said this email has no channel. So I had to make a new channel. And when I set it up and I got everything together, I did the rebranding and made the logo. By the way, I made this logo. I'm very proud of it, by the way.
I like it.
But yeah, by the time I set it all up and got everything going, it was like you have 0 subscribers. For some reason, your channel is still monetized and all of your videos are privated. So I was like, okay, that's a little weird. So I told a couple people like, hey, look, I got this channel that I'm bringing back. It's my Satsu 2 Cents channel, but I rebranded it. Just go ahead and subscribe if you want, whatever. I'm going to just be yelling at some clouds. So come and check it out. And then like 2 days later, I had like 7,000 subs.
That's some good marketing you did there.
I wish. Basically, I guess YouTube just kind of like brought it back because like when I did my first upload, a bunch of people were like, what is this channel and when did I subscribe to it? And then they heard my voice and they're like, wait a minute, is that our favorite Negro? I'm like, I guess it is. Channel link. I can't share the link. Monkey gotta give me banishing powers.
You don't have powers in my chat?
Not on this channel. Technically, this is a new channel. Remember?
Oh, say hi in chat and I'll fix that.
Yeah. Ryan says, I didn't even resub. They just added you back to my feed. That's what I'm saying. I thought that was so weird.
Well, I had to subscribe to you and now I'm wondering if it took it back. So I'll have to check that when we're done. But we're here tonight because, well, I do this for a living, but Satsu is here to talk about it. It's great because he reached out to me like, you streaming tonight? I'm like, yeah. And I have a topic and it's one that he's been talking about. So it was like synchronicity.
The stars aligned.
Yeah. I noticed today that Democrats just really don't get it. And when I say Democrats, please understand for anybody like, well, what about lefty, leftist, liberal, all of them people. The people who ran the Kamala campaign, the people who supported the Kamala campaign, whether it's a rando on Twitter or it's her campaign advisors, they just don't understand what happened the other day. They have it in their head that it was, oh, she didn't have enough time, or it's just those damn white people, or my favorite, blacks and Latinos are racist. That is my favorite of all of their excuses.
That is probably like the ultimate of like, wait, hold up.
Yeah.
You mean those same blacks and Latinos that won the vote for Obama twice? And those same blacks and Latinos that voted for Hillary last time?
Okay. And Biden, dude. Don't forget, black women turned out for Biden.
But all of a sudden, they just turned racist overnight.
Pumpkin Trucker, thank you. Happy 49th anniversary of the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. That is such a tragic song because it's based on the real events. And nobody really knows exactly what happened that night when they all died. Edmund Fitzgerald, for those of you who don't know, was a big cargo ship on the Great Lakes that sank in Lake Superior back in, what is it, the 60s? When did that sink, guys? All hands on deck were lost too. Thank you, Metal Minister. As funny as the meltdowns are, they're also scary. These people have Stockholm syndrome. How do we deprogram them? Well, we can't. Cryptic, thank you. Deport them all. Love legal mofos. Indeed. 75, 70. Oh, and my birth year. It wasn't my fault, y'all. I wasn't sleeping.
Yeah, they're having a very hard time with this. And it's really
I get having a hard time. It's that they don't understand it that's funny to me. Because if you losing shouldn't be easy to take. I think most people have problems with losing. But it's the manner in which they're losing that's ridiculous.
Well, and then I don't know. Like I said, I swear to God, they got the memory of a goldfish. It's like they completely forgotten like how we got here in the first place. Because the most puzzling one, like let's put African Americans and Latinos and uneducated white women aside, because we got to make sure that we specify that the white women are uneducated. Let's put that aside. The whole young men thing was the one that really got me, because I'm like, half of you women that are losing your minds on Twitter have been spending the past 4 or 5, probably 6 or 7 years telling men explicitly, you're worthless and we don't need you for anything. Your opinions don't matter. We don't care about you. Oh no, you guys are killing yourselves in record time. Oh, boo hoo. Maybe you should stop being scum. And I'm just like, you really thought that they were going to be like, yeah, we're going to come through for you guys because you made us feel like garbage.
Well, and they've been right about it for so long that I understand why they just expected it, because for so long, men have been afraid of not giving women exactly whatever they say they want. Real quick, let me get these. Dark Resurrect, thank you for that feminist $12. Satsu, why would you return? You were free from Monk's controlling influence. Yufio destroyed his liver for your freedom. And thank you, Understatement. It's great to see a real black man get some streaming time, and Satsu is here as well. Wow. All right. Bro. I want to show you a tweet I saw today. This is the one that made me think, they just don't fucking get it. It's from Tom Nichols, who is a reporter for The Atlantic. And he's responding to this. We are struggling with this for Thanksgiving. Many of my wife's family voted for Trump. And while we normally have a pleasant time with them, we're really, really questioning attending this year. And Tom says this. On the one hand, you might regret not having a family gathering. On the other, taking a break might be better than a day trying to avoid cultish family members. Seems to me the people who can't let it go are Trumpers. Win or lose, they can't stop talking about it.
Wait, what?
Yeah. First, can we deal with the fact that he's saying, you should cut yourself off from your family because of those cultists.
There are people literally screaming and crying and sobbing on the internet about this.
Oh, yeah.
People are literally threatening to leave the country. Women are literally cowering in fear, like thinking that at any moment Trump's gonna break into their house, impregnate them, and force them to have a baby. But we just can't stop talking about it.
Yeah.
So strange. Fuck. Dude, everything. That's what, Monkey, we talked about this earlier. I am putting together a vote and a petition to change the donkey into a projector.
Yes.
I want it to happen.
It should happen. Their party is not the donkeys. I mean, they have a few in there, but projection is the name of the game. Projection and hypocrisy, because that's what runs them right now. If you guys don't know, look up cults sometimes. You know how they get people into their cult and so brainwashed? By cutting them off from their friends and family. Yeah, Dark Resurrect just said, first move of a cult, isolate you from friends and family. Yeah.
Yeah, it is literally step number one.
And they pulled this same shit in 2016. We were talking before this election. My video from way back then got some resurgence for some reason. YouTube was pushing it, where they were like, don't go to Thanksgiving with your family if they're going to vote for Trump. You tell them that they can't even see their grandchildren anymore.
Yeah.
And like,
but here's the thing though. The entire time that Kamala was out, and when they finally installed her into her position to run for the next president, the message the whole time was the Trumpers are divisive. We're trying to bring everybody together. We need to stop all this separation. By the way, he's a Nazi and he's going to kill you if he wins. But this division is really bad, and we really need to stop. Lower the rhetoric or whatever. Yeah. But by the way, Trump almost got assassinated. It's his fault because he's a Nazi and he's going to kill you when he gets into office. But we really need to take a step back. Get away from this rhetoric. I'm just like, y'all are fucking scum, dude.
Plague Trucker Zach, thank you. Tom Nichols has made regular appearances on my Dumbest Tweets of the Week series. He's a good candidate for it because the guy's a moron. And thank you, Metal Minister. People have ended themselves over this, but the right is a cult. More evidence of Stockholm Syndrome. Well, earlier tonight, I don't know if the standoff is over or not, but the police were trying to get a woman off the top of a van who wouldn't come down because she's a Kamala supporter. Why? I don't fucking know. These people are insane.
Well, nobody can force her to have a baby up there.
I'm pretty sure somebody could if they tried hard enough. Between the projection and the missing the signs. I mean, I saw one guy today, Christopher Coons out of Connecticut, I think is where he's from. Not Coons. Fuck. I'm messing up the senator's name. Anyway, he's a Democratic senator from Connecticut. And he gives this really long list of things that Democrats need to do. They need to listen to the Republicans, especially the young males, and see why they would break for Trump. And he says this, is racism a part of it? Sure. I'm like, how do you not get it? How do you not get that that's not the issue? You guys have been screaming racism forever. And meanwhile, being completely racist while doing it. Fuck those white guys. That's
unapologetically racist.
Yeah. Thank you, Frosted. Trump just mandated impregnating van bitches. Yes. I don't understand why she climbed up on a van, honestly. But it's like they're purposefully missing why, and it's because they can't fathom that their ideology isn't the popular thing. Chris Murphy, thank you, Dangerous. That's who I was thinking of, Chris Murphy.
Well, that's what it is. Like like I said, what everybody was saying before this was done is no matter what the results are going to be at the end of the day, we will win the popular vote because we are the majority. Like that's, yes, we've always have been since what, 2004? I think.
No, 2008 is because Bush did win his second term. So 2004 is the last time the Republicans won a vote popular wise.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. Yeah. So I'm just like, they were 100% but I'm like, here's the thing now. And this is what they aren't understanding. Basic math can answer what the Democrats need to do next. Mm-hmm. Like they don't even need any complex, like we could talk to psychologists, we can talk to political analysts, you don't need any of that. Basic math can explain what your next move should be. You are now outnumbered, which means you need to recruit. Like you need to be bringing people back over to your side. How do you not do that? Call them racist pieces of shit. Tell them you hope they die.
Yeah.
And that you don't need them and you'll just figure it out. I'm like, you don't have that luxury, not to be trying to bring people back over.
I have seen more than one person say, I hope your daughter gets raped and has to keep the baby.
Dude, I've seen worse than that. And what's so tripped out is like, here we go. Trump's in place, right? It's here. Now, as a good person, as the people who are trying to bridge the gap and be good, you want America to stay straight, democracy and all that. You're probably going to hope that Trump doesn't do all the things that you said. You don't want to be correct because you're so scared, right? No, but they're like, dude, it is my life's goal to see Trump do all the things that we're terrified of. We want it to happen just to be right. Not to like, if Trump for the next 4 years stayed on the straight and narrow, he decided to clean up his act, talk to people a bit more properly, handle all of the stuff that he was talking about, reach over to the other aisle and ask them, what are some things that you guys want me to work about? And by the end of that 4th year, America was back where it needed to be. They would still be like, this is bullshit.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Look, I understand, like, if there's a policy that he's promoting, say, deporting all illegals. If you don't agree with that, wishing that fails, okay, I get it. I disagree with you, but that's cool. Wishing a child gets raped to own the right is beyond gross.
Yeah, these people are like, and I hate to say it because like the worst thing you can do is treat, people like, your political opponents, they're people. That's the one thing you should always remember. These people are human beings. No matter how much they disagree with you, they are human beings. But that's some inhuman shit to say. Like, it's hard to look at them with the people who say it. I'm not generalizing like entire groups. The people who specifically say shit like that, it's hard for me to be like, yeah, that's a person. That's a human being that I should treat rationally. Like, no, absolutely not.
Yeah, but hey, they're tolerant. I heard that today. I actually heard that they lost because they tolerated the intolerable.
Yeah.
And it's like, when have you been tolerant of anything other than putting people you disagree with in camps or killing them? What more intolerance could you have pushed?
Dude, the lady, one of the videos that I did earlier, I did a short earlier where this lady was literally like, it should be mandated by law for Trump supporters to wear their hats 24/7 to make sure that we can identify them in public for our safety.
Yeah, we saw a lot of this same kind of nonsense in 2016, and it didn't pan out then. And they're just repeating it. And then they're like, why doesn't anybody believe us? You can only be Chicken Little so many times before people realize the sky's not falling. Somebody was just asking where you were, Jack. How you doing, my friend?
Hi, guys. I've had worse, had better. Dad went to the hospital, so that's where I've been.
Oh, shit. Is he all right?
I don't know.
Oh, damn. Well, I hope everything's okay.
Yeah, he started feeling weak past couple of days, and then today he said he didn't feel good, and we took him to the bathroom, and he's like, I'm going to puke. And then stuff's coming out of everywhere, and we called EMS.
Yeah, good plan. Yeah. Hopefully it's just like a little stomach bug.
At this point, it's not.
I can be hopeful.
Yes, as I can too, but I'm not. So,
Monkey, can you pin my link with your links?
I need somebody. Can somebody put all 3 links together for me so I can pin them at the top?
Because I keep posting it in chat. but I keep getting people asking me if I posted it.
Yeah, I'll get it put into the description when we're done too.
Okay.
Over on the Streamlabs, thank you so much, Cryptic. Oh, whoops! It decided to refresh. I probably because I clicked the refresh button. Just saying. Cryptic, thank you. I had a Marine who joined a cult. I told him to give me his issues gear. He was only in for 1 year, and I felt sad, but I discharged him. I think he now looks like Jesus in a communal compound, and he probably smells like ass. Toasted, thank you. This is giving me some nostalgia of the streams you used to do with Satsu and the other guy. I forget his name.
Oh, there's a Streamlabs link too, if anybody cares. It's totally up to you. I'm just sharing it because I thought somebody might ask at some point.
All right, Jack, you're here in time for us to explain to the Democrats why they suck and are going to keep losing if they keep acting like they do. And for the record, I want people to let them keep acting like they do because I don't like their little commie asses.
Yeah, I don't like communists, so I'm all for them fucking up.
I mean, I'm of the mind, if I'm going to be practical about it, that I would prefer they learn their lesson, so that way we're not just playing one side of the field forever from now on. Like I'd like for, because when I feel like if either side goes unchecked for too long, we get fuckery. So I was just like, figure it out at some point at least. God damn it! Like don't.
I hear you, but at this point, could you repost your link? Dangerous is trying to get that together for us.
The channel link?
Yeah, whichever links you want in there.
Your Streamlabs link.
Okay.
At this point, I just don't see them coming back. I mean, watching all of this, I don't understand how they don't get it. Real
because
quick,
they live in an echo chamber where they don't listen to people outside. Everybody but else is beneath them. So if they don't hear it from a source that's been pre-approved, it's not a real source. That's just propaganda by the Russians.
Satsu, will you just type hi into chat for a second?
I just put something in the chat.
Yeah, nothing you're putting in the chat is showing up. So will you just say hi?
Oh, because they're links. That's why.
I've been waiting for you to put something in there so I could make you a mod.
Oh, I didn't even notice my name wasn't blue. I thought you had already done that.
Oh, while you guys are doing that, thank you, Retro V Gamer, for the generous donation. Prayers and best wishes, Jack. Thanks, Retro, and thank you to all of you for your well wishes. This is not entirely unexpected. It's just painful. So I don't mean to dump out my purse on everybody, so I'm going to just kind of move on from there. But thank you, guys.
All right, Satsu, you got the ability now. The other day we talked about Alan Lichtman. He's the guy with the 13 keys to winning an election and freaked out when Trump won the other day, insisting it wasn't possible and that democracy was dead.
Yes, we've gone through the full democratic process and everybody has voted and they picked a winner. Democracy is dead, ladies and gentlemen.
Dead. He went on to CNN to explain what happened.
Of course he did.
Don't worry, guys. He didn't get it wrong.
And the keys, because the keys depend upon a rational, pragmatic electorate deciding based on governance whether the incumbent party should get 4 more years. And we've seen the explosion of some trends that have existed before, but not to this extent. Disinformation. You know, Elon Musk is, I don't know how many hundreds of billions he has. He has been the director of misinformation. 2 billion views of his spreading of disinformation.
What?
Elon Musk getting 2 billion views is why this guy's dumbass 13 keys didn't work.
Yes, that makes sense.
So his complaint is that Elon Musk's misinformation was stronger than his misinformation?
Yes.
Oh. Well,
No,
I mean, I guess that counts.
It's not misinformation when they do it. See, that's educating the public.
That was actually my reply when I watched this. I'm like, you're on CNN.
Yeah.
You're on CNN talking about how misinformation was the problem.
Yeah. A week ago, CNN was saying that Trump absolutely and 100% said that he wants Liz Cheney to be in front of a firing squad.
Yes.
And as pure fact. Like, it wasn't like, oh, allegedly. They said no, this was his exact words and this is what he said. And then they had the fucking audacity to play the clip immediately afterwards that explicitly showed he didn't say it. And they're just like, see how terrible that was? And I'm like, you just showed everybody that you were lying. Oh my God.
Dangerous. Thank you for updating the links for us. It is updated at the top now. Go ahead, Jack. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Dark Resurrect, for that feminist donation. It's bad when Bernie fucking Sanders says the Democrats will learn nothing from this election. Well, he's right. And that's really crazy that old commie actually got something right by accident.
Oh, Bernie Sanders is fuming. He mad as hell.
I've been
seeing a couple clips of him, and he is not happy.
Well, somehow they tried playing the "we're for the middle class," and literally everybody they brought out was a millionaire.
Yeah, dude, every single person. I'm like, dude, y'all couldn't find anybody. And then freaking Kamala is telling us, I'm just like you guys. I grew up middle class, and I'm middle class also. And oh, here's Beyonce. How about Oprah? Yeah, she was middle class. I'm just like, dude, what are you talking about?
Thank you, Josh. Satsu and Monkey. Hope you're well. Ferg, thank you so much. How you doing, Ferg? I'm doing okay. Thanks, bud.
I am doing okay myself.
I don't know how you say that. LeMay. Sanders got cheated twice. Bernie Sanders never got cheated. They took the steps that they could have cheated him if they wanted to, but Bernie Sanders had no chance of winning the elections.
No,
and I'm not talking about against Trump. I mean against Biden and Hillary. Go ahead, Jack. Sorry about that.
No, I think that he got cheated in the sense that the system was rigged against him because it was a coronation for Hillary. There's no way they were going to let him have the nomination regardless.
Well, he didn't have the votes for it.
Oh, it didn't matter. Even if he did, they still wouldn't have let him have it. There was too many backroom shenanigans.
Well, that and the fact that his biggest strength was his biggest weakness at that time. And that's the fact that he had the full attention of young men, which was what they were losing at the time. Like he really had I think he had a stranglehold on the market when it comes to just like younger dudes were like really rallying behind him. And they're just like, oh, absolutely not. We hate those guys. So yeah, fuck you and those votes.
Straight men? No, fuck that.
Yeah,
those people.
They didn't like that at all.
Toasted, thank you. Do you guys think that the far right might rise and make us look bad, like the squad made the left look bad? Because I see many view from right-wing accounts that are for Christian nationalism, banning porn, as well as other things, which are not realistic things. Look, you're going to have those people, and the press is going to play them up a lot. They're going to be like, this is like they did with Richard Spencer, who did not have a major following, but boy, did they make sure everybody knew his name.
Well, here's the difference, though. This is going to be the major difference, and you can make this the difference as long as you've been paying attention, is the left's downfall is they, due to the dogmatic rhetoric that they fucking made in their group, they weren't allowed, they made it a foundation of their belief system that you are not allowed to say anything against these people. Like it's not okay. But I don't think that type of mindset is as established on the right when it comes to the extreme. I don't think that they're like, oh, you're not allowed to say bad things about them. I think the right's pretty okay with telling crazy fanatics on the right to shut the fuck up. Not all of them, but for the most part, I think it's fine.
I hear what you're saying, but I've seen a move in this from the right ever since 2000, probably about 2018, where their whole thing is let's act like the left. I mean, probably so.
Yeah, I've definitely seen some of that, but I don't think it's as ingrained, is what I'm saying. Like, I don't think
it's getting there though, and I hope it doesn't. Yeah, oh yeah. I hope it doesn't take hold. But if you go onto Twitter and you look at some of the biggest names that are over there spreading right propaganda, they're all on the Jesus is Lord thing. And look, if you're a Christian, I understand, you get that. That's your whole basis of belief, and that's great. But when it comes to actually running the country, that doesn't fucking matter. And if you push shit on me based on religion, then we will have a problem.
Cryptic,
real
thank
quick.
you. Oh,
JB, thank you. JB, thank you. I learned of a new reason to dislike Joe Biden. He didn't let MF Doom, musician, back into the States during COVID. Yet he did use some of his music during an event. Wish I knew more, but am on mobile.
Ooh. Okay. Thank you, Cryptic. Last time Oprah was middle class, she was 400 pounds and had 3 chins and an ass so wide she had to ride in an F-150.
Last week.
Thank you. Well, it's just, I don't know. Well, the thing that got me is like Kamala, one of her biggest things was like, we're going to take out the elite. We're going to cancel the rich and we're going to take the money from them and we're going to stop them from, doing all this stuff or whatever. Like she was like, I'm a big enemy of the rich and the wealthy and the elite. And I'm like, then why are they all supporting you? Like, how do you have the backing of everybody you plan to take down?
It really was amazing watching this election. You and I talked about this earlier with the Cheney thing.
Mm-hmm.
Her campaign was so happy to get Liz Cheney's endorsement.
Oh my God.
They played up the Dick Cheney thing a little bit, but it was really Liz.
That shit baffled me.
She's the one that was going to take down Donald Trump, and she's awesome now. She, at the time that she ended up leaving the House, she was one of the most conservative people in the House. And she's for abortion because made up stories in the press, and she's like the greatest thing. And you're Republicans who, primaried that horrible bitch, but her supporting Kamala should totally make you go vote for her.
Yeah.
I don't even understand the thinking behind that.
Me neither. I was trying to figure it out too. Like if you take a step back and just look at everything for face value, like genuinely, it still feels like to me that like somebody set this up for her to lose, because every decision that they made was just like, why? This is the stupidest thing you could do. And they're like, no, it's not. Watch this.
Because it's for the same reason she got picked. She is the most extreme person who's ever run on the leftist party ticket ever. And that's what they want. They have it in their head that if only they put up this is why some people point to Bernie and go, Bernie could have won it, because Bernie is a socialist. He is a commie light. And like, if only he got a chance to tell everybody how great bread lines are, they'd want to be in them.
You could at least get the bread.
Yeah, at least you get the bread in the bread lines. They have it in their head that the problem is that they've been stopped. Not that they should be stopped. But we even saw somebody tell us, Kamala just didn't get the chance to tell everybody who she was. She had every opportunity to do that and never did.
Literally every time she had the opportunity to do it, she dodged it like Negroes dodge child support. Like she bro, like and I'm telling you, like people asked her straight up in almost every setting you could possibly be in, town halls, one-on-one interviews, fucking debates, like just every setting you could possibly be in. They're like, okay, we're going to try this again, Kamala. Please, for the love of God, explain to us, like tell us something about you. And she's just like, well, I grew up in a middle-class family. And they're like, God damn it, Kamala.
Yep. Dangerous, thank you. I'm just like you. You guys are also friends with Eminem, Beyonce, J-Lo, Oprah, Taylor Swift, Cardi B, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Billie Eilish, Megan Thee Stallion, John Legend, and George Clooney, right?
Yeah, you guys can assemble the fucking Avengers on a whim, right?
Yeah. Literally, I don't know how many of you people in the audience saw that, but the actors who played the Avengers came together for a Kamala stream.
Oh, they came together. Oh, sorry.
By the way, none of them had makeup artists for it, and it was very clear.
Yeah, I keep telling people Scarlett Johansson is not attractive.
Oh God, she looked so bad.
She
I didn't
looks
even
like a
recognize
fucking
her.
alien.
Robert Downey Jr. looks as old as he is. Fuck.
That dude's got some hardcore coke miles on.
Up in the upper left corner of the screen, ladies and gentlemen, that is Katie Porter.
Ugh.
And yeah, former congresswoman who got kicked out, lost. But for some reason, they keep bringing this bitch out. Every so often, they roll her around, I guess, to make sure she doesn't get moss on one side.
So on election night, I went to pick up my daughter from water polo practice, and she's 12, and she got in the car and she was crying. And I said, "Did someone punch you? Like, water polo is a rough sport." I was like, "Did someone hit you? Did the coach yell at you? What happened?" And she said, "Mom, Trump won. Trump's going to win. And what if I get raped and I need to have an abortion?"
Oh my God. Don't.
And if she looks anything like you, don't worry about it. Oh, was that out loud?
Her mom's a Democrat. I'm guessing that the people that she hangs around, that child should be worried about getting raped.
How
That's
old is her
true.
daughter?
12.
12.
12.
Yeah.
That, like, for me, hearing a story like that makes me want to immediately call the police.
Yeah.
I'm
You
just
need
like,
to look at who's in your child's life that has them worried about getting raped.
yeah.
Yeah, who is putting that nonsense in their head? Real fast, thank you, Cryptic. I want to deport illegals to Genosha. I'm pretty sure the mutants need some cheap labor and slaves. Unfortunately, that all went sideways already, and the mutants are still hiding in the outback. But thank you, Cryptic.
Cryptic, thank you. A child should not know about this crap. Yeah. Do you guys remember being 12 and being all upset about an election?
And being worried about being raped?
I knew there was an election coming up, and I knew elections happened, and I knew who the president was, but it literally played no role in my life. I was 12. I was playing with G.I. Joe and playing football and shit.
Yeah.
I sure as hell wasn't thinking about getting raped.
Yeah, you were more worried about like beating a Mario level than
What have you done to your daughter that she comes from water polo? And look, I know a lot of people like this never happened. I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt that she has so traumatized her child that this really happened. You're a bad parent.
Yeah, that's just straight up bad parent. You got your kid terrified that something that, mind you, literally just can't happen. I'm like, like Trump, for some reason, they're convinced that Trump's going to walk into the office and he's going to say, "All right, Supreme Court, it's back." Like, just completely do what I said, get rid of abortion completely. And I'm like, he's been on the book. There's still people, Monkey. There are still people to this day who I talk to that I know personally who were just like, he said he was going to do it. I'm like, he literally, explicitly, every opportunity he got said he is not going to do that. Like definitively, he didn't hint at it. He didn't allude to it. He 100% flat out said, "No, I'm not doing that."
But that doesn't matter because the scare tactics. And this is the thing. I mean, we talked about this when she gave her closing argument speech, where she just goes out there, scaremongers, then says, "Hey, we got to get fear out of politics," and then immediately went back to scaremongering.
Yeah.
Like, they just don't get it. Can you show Satsu the warning from the future video? Fuck no, we're not watching that again. I'll send it to him if I can find it. I ain't watching that stupid shit.
Oh no.
So much hate in your heart, Monkey.
Satsu, it's an AI video they put out about how...
Oh, I think I heard about that one.
It was bad. They actually made a couple of them, and the one we watched...
Was it the one where, like, I think Kamala won in this scenario, and they were, like, saying how they saved the world, and they
no, that's the second one.
That's the second. Okay, that's the one that I heard about.
The first one has them explaining what all happened because Trump won and how we didn't think it was possible. because we were like, nah, that never happened, and everything goes to shit, and there's child soldiers running the Pentagon or something. It was fucking stupid. Logical Male, thank you. I'm sure she told her daughter, there I will get you milk and cookies from Harvard so you can feel better. Several universities actually did the whole giving kids time off because, look, if you need time off of your schooling because Donald Trump won the presidency, you do not belong in college.
Mm-hmm. Oh, thank you, Dark Resurrect. It's sad when they call Trump a uber mega Nazi when he's just a 90s Democrat, a 90s New York Democrat at that. Well, that was another thing. That was another thing that killed me because they were talking about that with Elon Musk. They like, we don't know what happened to Elon Musk. He was supposed to be on our side because he was pretty, as far as we knew, he was pretty much a Democrat for a while. And they like, we just don't understand, how he was led astray or whatever, like how Trump got him into his clutches. And I'm like, you mean the same dude who you've been saying is a piece of shit and is total scum for years, and you've been trying to shut down literally everything that he's been attempting to do and slander him all over that dude? You can't figure out why he might have turned on you?
It's a mystery.
It's nobody can figure it out. Toasted,
dude, recount is sorry. I'm sorry.
Toasted,
sorry.
Thank you again. It's former normie conservatives who've become pretty far right, like Elijah, Roaming Millennial, Mark Dice, Owen Schroeder, etc. Schroeder, who have gotten to the point where they support banning porn, banning sodomy, banning or blaming juice on everything, etc. No, I understand, and yeah, I've seen it too. I've seen it, and I do think that you got to keep your head on a swivel with these people because one thing that tends to happen when people get a taste of power, ask Robespierre. Let's just leave it at that. Ask Robespierre what happens when you get the power. Suddenly everything you were against is okay, Jack.
Yeah, and then they have to have a second one to stop the first one.
Recount is still trending on Twitter, man.
Oh God, I saw this video today. I'd pull it up, but it is just nonsensical, stupid shit. This woman claimed that somebody told her that the election results were being counted by Starlink.
I saw that too. Somebody sent me that. I lost it. That's some of the funniest shit I've ever heard.
I saw it because a guy that I follow said, I know this woman personally, so I'm not going to be rude because out of respect. But this thing got community noted, and he goes, the community notes the first two sentences explain it all. I'm like, if you respect her, why wouldn't you treat her like you treat everyone else?
Mm-hmm.
But that's what happens. People like, look, I am nicer to my friends. That's just how having friends is. But if I thought Satsu was wrong, I'd be like, hey, you're wrong.
And I'd be like, fuck you, bitch. I'm always right.
Yeah. And that's how you treat people with actual respect, is just because they say something stupid and you call them out on them saying something stupid doesn't mean you hate them. It's like, hey, I'd like you to be smarter, because people put our names in the same sentence sometimes. Starlink is an internet provider. That's all. No, Evil One. No. You see, Starlink runs on Linux. And since it runs on this is her reasoning, not mine. Okay, please understand that. Because
try to distance yourself.
This is some of the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my life. Because it runs on Linux, Linux can't take multiple inputs at one time. So like if you're trying to count the vote and you give 5 votes to, say you counted 5 ballots that went for Trump and 5 that went for Kamala, Linux can't figure out how to separate those. So it would just give all of the votes to Trump. And I was like, what the bloody fuck are you talking about? That is fucking retarded.
Man, look, out of all the conspiracy theories, this one dude I was watching, he got his ballot, his mail-in ballot, and freaked the fuck out. And it automatically came to the internet. You want to know why he freaked out when he got his mail-in ballot? Because Kamala was on the bottom. And he was convinced that it was a conspiracy. He was just like, oh my God. And I just, I had to make this video. So I went to go do research on it because I couldn't believe that they would just blatantly do that. And then he looked it up and found out that his state specifically randomizes all the names. And he just happened to get one that was on the bottom. So he was just like, man, crisis averted. I'm just like, oh my God, y'all are fucking insane, man.
That reminds me of the video of that lady interviewing some singer. And she's like, well, I found out you're a musician. What? I ain't no wizard.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. She got mad. Excuse me, I'm not no motherfucking musician.
I play music. I am not a musician.
I play music. I'm not a musician.
I fucking love that video. Jariah, thank you. I have the power as long as I agree completely with everything you believe and say whatever you want me to say. Democrats to Latinos this time and black men. Which is funny as shit because they've been going after black men who still went 80% for Kamala.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we need all of you Negroes to think alike like Joe told us you do.
Well, here's the thing, too. I brought this up to somebody I'm pretty close to, and I'm like, now think about this for a second. Considering that the Democratic Party are literally the creators of the KKK, just think about this for a minute. Republicans, when they hear that you voted for Kamala, they'll say, like, yeah, you're a fucking idiot. Like, that's kind of weird, but, you know, whatever, to each their own. Democrats say, you're a fucking traitor. Now, what kind of person would look at you and claim that you are a traitor? Like, that would assume that they would have some type of ownership over you, right?
Yep.
Like, how could you trade on a political party? Like, how does that work?
You don't want me to answer that for real.
Well, I'm like, well, here's the thing. The one thing that people tend to forget are politicians are public servants. And they're public servants to literally everyone, not just their party. Like the public is everybody. So I'm like, their job is to serve the best interest of the public, regardless of whatever side you're on. At least that's my interpretation. So I'm just like,
sweet summer child.
Well, you know, I'm just saying like what it's supposed to be. But it's so funny that now these public servants are like, because you remember when they first announced that Kamala lost, she said that we let her down. And I'm like, excuse me?
Yep.
Like, wait, we let her down? That's like your maid not finishing their shift and they're like, Senor, you let me down.
Cryptic, thank you. Linux Master Race, LOL. Yeah, it can only count in one direction. And Dangerous, thank you. Have fun at school and look out for the rape goblin. I will, mama. What the fuck is wrong with these people? Explain wanting porn in their kids' school library, though. They have horrible judgment. And this is part of it that did not get talked about. Kamala was so mad at Trump's $20 million ad buy, where he played her saying that she supported transition surgery paid by the public funds, taxpayers, for criminals.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, we just didn't get our message through. No, we got the message. It's just a bad message. You are the people who spent all of 2020 bitching and yelling, you have to trust the science, while telling us boys can become girls.
Yeah.
Biology doesn't exist.
Dark Resurrect, thank you again. Dems already lost their slaves once. They don't want it to happen again. Oh,
it's true. There's that Johnson quote. We'll have, I can't say the word, voting for us for what, the next 100 years or whatever it was he said?
Yeah, he undershot it though.
Yeah. I mean, the Democratic Party still is racist at its core. For all of their bullshit about how it's me, they're the ones that are like, black people can't figure out how to get an ID. They've never even heard the word computer before.
Oh yeah, there's some black people that never even seen a computer before. I'm just like, what do y'all think? Like, what type of quest like do you think we need to go on in order to go get an ID? Like, what goes in your mind? Because when you go to the DMV, you just walk in and you take a picture and you walk out with your ID. What do you think Negroes do when they go to the DMV? Like, what do you think happens?
They're dodging Trump supporters the whole way in.
Just like
they treat black people like they're retarded. And it goes all the way back to slavery when they're purposefully kept uneducated and treated like animals because that way they don't get smart and rise up against the shit they were dealing with.
Yeah. And that's kind of where the like, are you getting smart with me type of shit like resonated. It's just like, you're not supposed to know shit. I didn't teach you anything. Like, how dare you?
You know, they would probably make it illegal to educate black people again if they could.
Oh yeah.
Well, no, they'll just hope really bad that the people who they imagine are evil will do it for them.
Yeah.
Like they're doing right now.
Paging Dr. Thank you so much. They've called us Yahtzees for years. Nazis, I'm assuming that YouTube won't let them put that in there. But now they're yelling at minorities for voting for Trump while literally creating a movement of skinheads for 48 or for 4B. Not just that. I mean, their first reaction to the loss was how dare those minorities?
Mm-hmm.
How dare they? We've been paying lip service to them for decades.
Yeah. And it's definitely that. And if you for whatever reason are skeptical at all about how they perceive black people or just minorities in general, go look at the way Obama, when she sicked Obama on black men, go look at that video and tell me that you didn't see fucking Uncle Phil lecturing his kids or something like that. It wasn't a politician standing in front of a group of adult men as a public servant to talk to them about what their concerns are, why they might be going somewhere else. Because you notice they didn't talk to him. He came to talk, they didn't talk to him. He came to talk to them.
Wait, talk at them. Let's say it properly.
To talk at them. And dude, it was literally like watching a dad lecture his children.
Mm-hmm. There's no good reason for you guys to not like Kamala. So it's got to be that you're sexist and probably racist.
Yeah. And it was just like the whole air of it was like, we raised you better than this.
Yes.
And I'm just like, bro. But did you see the reaction from that? Because a lot of people didn't show, like a lot of the news stations did not show the reaction of the dudes there. But they interviewed some of them afterwards and they were pissed.
I didn't see their reactions where they spoke, but I saw the look on their faces. And that was enough because they were like, mm-hmm.
Dude, Black Twitter was at war after that shit. They were at war.
I hate to interrupt, but I have to go. I will talk to you guys later.
All right,
Okay.
man. See. Wish all the best to his dad. Yeah, that whole thing, and I can't believe Obama's politically savvy. He really is, and that he agreed to that just shows the arrogance that he has. Because nobody in their right mind would think being condescending and calling people sexist and racist is the way you get them on your side.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Biden was literally, not Biden, but Obama was literally orchestrating a lot of that fucking divisive bullshit when he was in office.
But he always, if you go back and watch, he let other people do it for him. He didn't beat it down. The closest he came to was, hey, Trayvon could have been my son.
Mm-hmm.
He let everybody else go out there and call people racist for disagreeing with him. That did not come out of his mouth.
Yeah, that's true. But it just and I think they summoned him. I think they was just like, all right, Obama, like, we need you. You need to do this for the party. And he's just like, this ain't gonna work, bro. And they like, I don't care. Go do it.
I think he thought it would work. I think he thinks that he is Oprah and he can just tell people what to think and they will.
Well, oh my
but
God.
We've gotten to a point, and you and I were talking about Shoe on Head's video earlier today. We've gotten to a point where they've gone too far. They've just gone too far to where men literally can't do anything right. Black men, 80%, according to the poll, the exit polls, supported Kamala, and they immediately got attacked when she lost.
As a whole, too. Like
they
talked about black men as if it was 100% of them.
80% of them voted for her. No, that's not enough. You fucking men screwed it all up.
Yeah, we knew you guys were worthless. You better vote for us next time. I'm just like, yo. Oh, go ahead.
Thank you, Dangerous. Negroto and Samwise the Brown, you have finally reached Mount DMV. By the way, it's being announced on Twitter that Tom Deport the Whole Family Homan has been announced as the new border czar. Awesome. Yeah, I saw somebody said that in chat there. I don't know a lot about Tom Homan. I remember him from the hearing that he was at where he just ripped into, who was it, AOC? Great video of him. We watched several of the videos from when he was up on the Hill that day. I think I don't even know if you can call it an echo chamber when you're. They are so into their own ideology and won't let anyone else around them. It's a cult. It really is. And I hate saying that because they've tried using the word cult for anybody who disagrees with them, which is fucking weird. But their cultish behavior to their side, they cannot be wrong.
Well, the problem is too, the echoes are getting louder, but the issue is they don't understand why. And they think if they keep yelling louder that it's going to solve the problem. I'm like, no, the reason why the echoes are louder is because the chamber is getting empty. People are leaving, bro. Like, that's what's happening. Like, you don't understand this. And they felt like, okay, well, usually we can just beat these people into submission. And if we make them feel bad enough, they'll do whatever we say. And we always have the popular vote anyway. So obviously our opinion is always right. And I'm just like, well, I mean, you don't have that anymore. Literally, your only choice now is you're going to have to start actually giving a fuck about the people you pretend to care about. I know that sounds crazy. I know it's going to be really difficult, but you might have to actually start caring about them now.
Zent in chat says, I hate saying that too. I don't like throwing that word around, but I have come to the conclusion that it's a literal cult. I've been calling the left a cult decades now. And it was because of global warming. I've always called it the Church of Global Warming because that's how they treat it. And it's just gotten worse and worse and worse to the point where it is everything with them now. It is a cult. And you can look at it and say, like, look at Anna Kasparian. She has been labeled a traitor to their cause. I don't know if you've been watching this, Satsu.
Oh, dude, I've been keeping my eye on Anna. She done had an awakening over the past few weeks. Oh my god,
it's been longer than that. This has been going on for months. Do you know how it started?
No, what was the trigger?
Let me explain. Let me get this first. Eric, thank you so much. Freedom Tunes did an ID episode. It's a black guy going on to have a full fantasy Lord of the Rings adventure. I'll have to check that out.
I said, dude, it's so funny.
My favorite is Ty Smith when they came out and the Negroes don't know what computers are. He gets on these short shorts, and that's all not real short, but it kind of looks like a loincloth. And he's jumping around like a monkey, just flipping a laptop in the air, trying to figure it out.
Yeah. I think I saw that video.
Ty's funny as shit. We haven't got to talk to him in a long time. I hope he's doing well. Dark, thank you for that feminist $12. I think one of the biggest shifts has been that when the leftists call someone any form of ist or phobe, the response has become, I don't care. Yeah, because they've overused it.
Well, yeah. It's like, well, what does that even mean at this point? Like,
all right, I'm going to give you the highlights of what she said. I would tell you exactly, but I don't remember it word for word. But pay attention to what I say here, okay? Her and her husband go out to walk her dog, and her husband's a little bit away from her, and she bends down to pick up some poop off the ground, because you got to clean up after your dog. And when she does, a homeless guy comes up and dry humps her butt. And she told this story on the Young Turks and said something needs to be done about these homeless people. This is unacceptable. That's it.
Oh, she wasn't supposed to say that, right?
Now, she was a racist for that.
Did she? Hold on. Did we hear the race of the dude?
No, we did not. You want to guess what color he was?
I'm assuming he was whiter than sour cream.
He was fucking white, but
Oh,
they
boy.
heard homeless person and dry humping a white girl, and they went, "Why are you calling out the Negroes?" That's where it all started. She finally got that taste of how the left treats people, and that's what kicked it all off.
And that's another telltale sign that I don't think people caught on to either. At least people who haven't been paying attention. Is that automatic assumption, that inherent like bias, just like bigotry of low expectations, when they're just like, okay, we're putting forth this new crime bill, and they're like, oh, that's to catch Negroes. And it's just like, wait, but everybody commits crime. And they're just like, no, you're doing this specifically to target Black people. We all know nobody commits more crime than them. And I'm just like, but you don't really, hold on. Wait a second.
Yeah. Like I said, they are so fucking racist, and they don't even see it.
No, yeah, they're completely 100% oblivious to it. It's actually kind of baffling.
Athena Sigil, thank you so much. For Jack, best hopes to you and your dad. Thank you for that. I'll get that to him. Here's the easy answer, Democrats. Literally everything you're doing is wrong. It is only working with people who agree with you. And if you weren't running against Trump this time, if it had been DeSantis, if it had been anyone else, except maybe Nikki Haley, they would have kicked the shit out of you in a way that makes even this look pleasant.
Oh yeah, because Trump, he had, like people were like, that's still Trump. Like and a lot of people who voted for him too. Like there's a lot of people I know who was like, I am very reluctantly voting for Trump, but I'm voting for Trump.
Yep.
So yeah, they would have destroyed them. It would have been crazy. How bad.
Because she was a bad candidate, and I saw somebody today say that her picking Tim Walz was the right decision. She couldn't have made a worse decision. This is a guy who signed into law the ability for you to steal kids from other states to give them hormones.
Well, not only that, like their big thing for her bringing Tim Walz was he was supposed to be her answer to bringing the young men vote, because Tim Walz is a real man's man. Remember that shit?
Yep. And
he's challenging masculinity in a good way by stepping back and allowing women to take the lead. Remember that fucking article? I'm just like, are you serious right now?
I started to talk about Shoe on Head earlier, and this is her video that she made from before the election. This was, I think, 10 days ago now is when it came out. I finally got to watch it today, and she's explaining to them what they're not getting.
Oh, yeah.
It's you just don't treat men like men. Everything they're supposed to do is to. How many times have I told you they think we are broken because we're not women?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, men are just defective women that need to be fixed.
Yeah.
That's it.
Hey, AP, how you doing, my friend? The left can't see why they lost because they're narcissists. Yeah.
Dark, thank you so much again for the donation. Another good one. The bill down in Florida that would make pedophilia an offense that is eligible for the death penalty. The left said it was going to affect LGBT. Yeah, that was another one where they were just like, this is specifically targeting gay people. And I'm like, now what? Could you elaborate on why you think that, please?
Yeah, could you fix that message for us, because it got a little distorted. Yeah,
I'm gonna need some very specific details on how you came to that conclusion, please.
Stop calling LGBT groomers. By the way, if you kill pedophiles, it'll hurt them the most.
Yeah, I'm just
mixed messaging. Thank you. This is Kyle. They're not racist for thinking a homeless person was Black. They're racist for not assuming that, because that means your white privilege makes you think everyone is equal. I'm sure that's their logic. Have to Jack. Thank you for that.
Yeah, which is
no. Their logic is that it's kind of like the thug thing. I mean, calling people acting like thugs, thug, like, oh, you mean Black? Like, no, I mean the guy over there looks like he's gonna rape somebody. He's white, but no, thug became Black. So if you say thug, you're calling black people thugs, even if you're talking about a white guy.
Well, that's because they like I said, these people, they don't have principles at all. They have beliefs, and these beliefs can literally change at any moment. Like none of it is like a principled stance that they, you know, they change that shit on a dime.
These are the people who say, when a woman is raped, they tend to get very quiet. It's a normal thing that happens, and then will unironically say silence is consent. Those things happened at the same time.
Yeah, man, look.
It was
everything they do. And like I said, it's just whatever is convenient at the moment. Whatever argument feels like it'll be the most useful right now in this exact moment, that's the one I'm going for until it's not working anymore.
Yes.
And then we just jump ship and go to something else. And it doesn't matter if they contradict each other, because all you have to do is just pretend that the last thing never happened. And it just didn't. That's how it works.
Thank you, Understatement. It's like the Skinner meme. Am I out of touch? No, it's the children that are wrong.
Yeah.
Did you guys hear about the joke slavery text going around? I did not. Fuck. Is somebody telling people they're going to become slaves? Because that's kind of funny.
I was told that if I vote for Trump, I am literally voting to lose my ability to vote.
Yeah, it was going to end democracy.
Yeah, he was like that. Oh, what was it? What was it? I think it was MSNBC, where they was like, minorities, I want you to remember when you go out to vote that this could be your last chance to ever vote in an election. I'm just like, is that a threat? That sounded like a threat.
Thank you, JB. Women just suck at wrestling. JB with the heel turn. There you go. I brought this one up because we made jokes about this, but it's starting to become an actual movement, and God bless.
Is looking for. That is my question. I'll start with you.
Joe Biden's been a phenomenal president. He's lived up to so many of the promises he's made. There's one promise left.
No, he hasn't. He's been a horrible president, and he lied. Look at the which bill was it that they came out and admitted was just the Green New Deal? They literally lied about it to get it passed. And then it wasn't even what he told people he was getting passed. It was the Green New Deal instead. Yeah. All right. Anyway.
Left that he could fulfill being a transitional figure. He could resign the presidency in the next 30 days, make Kamala Harris the president of the United States.
Whoa.
It would absolve her from being able to from having to oversee the January 6th transition. Right?
That is my favorite part of this. It would absolve her from having to do the January 6th transition. Her fucking job?
Mm-hmm.
Like she absolve her. Like it's some crime that she has to do it. Thank you guys. It's the Inflation Reduction Act. Several people said it in chat. Yeah, he could absolve her of her sins. Okay. Thank you, paging Dr. Somebody sent out a text message to random black people telling them to report to the nearest plantation station B or something. Jesus Christ. Okay, that's funny.
That happened exclusively in Democratic states.
Probably did. Probably.
It had to. It's just like, come on.
All right,
now, one thing I wanted to ask that I saw that I couldn't. It was one of those things that I saw, and I'm like, this is probably untrue, but I don't feel like looking it up because I don't care really all that much. Mm-hmm. But I saw something that said that that every state that went blue in this election had no voter ID requirements.
I saw that too, and
I'm like, that doesn't sound like it's true, but I was like, I don't feel like looking it up because I don't care that much, to be honest.
Well, there's something like 20 states that don't have voter ID, or 17 states, something like that.
No, were all those the explicitly the ones that she won though? I didn't know. That was the part that I didn't know was true or not.
I don't know if I wouldn't be shocked if it was true.
Yeah, like it sounds like something, but I'm like, due to my bias and the fact that I haven't looked it up, like I'm obviously going to question it.
Here you go. Dangerous says in chat, it's not true. She won some that had ID. Fair enough.
Okay, that's what I figured. I'm like that just don't sound true to me, but so I'm glad I questioned it and didn't just believe it or share it.
I could believe it just based on the fact that she won the Democrat stronghold states.
Mm.
And that is one of their major pushes. So, again, that's not saying it's okay to share misinformation or anything, but it's not that far out of the realm.
I mean, it would. Oh, God. Sorry.
Thank you, Sim Nikki. Remember when everyone had to get vaxxed without choice? Then Roe got overturned and suddenly my body, my choice again. Slave text actually happened, by the way. That's funny.
Huh.
I want to finish with dipshit here because there's a point I want to make about this. This is why you guys lose.
Right, of her own defeat. And it would make sure that it would dominate the news at a point where Democrats have to learn drama and transparency and doing things that the public want to see is the time. This is the moment for us to change the entire perspective of how.
All right, that's the part I wanted to get to. He wants Joe Biden to step down and make Kamala president because that's what the people want to see.
The people who didn't vote for her?
We just had an election where they could have made her the president if that's what the people wanted to see.
Oh my God. How stupid. And like, I swear to God, like it's going beyond just like the indoctrination or whatever that they must have gone through in order to be the way that they are. Like it's reaching levels of just like, you're an idiot. Like you shouldn't be on TV.
How do you get that this is what the people want to see when she just got her ass handed to her in the election? Not to mention, do you understand how fucking condescending you're being to women here?
Mm-hmm.
She couldn't win, so we men need to just give it to her.
Yeah, just give her the feeling of feeling what it feels, to be that for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
Like it don't even some of the shit that these people be saying. I need to send me this clip. I need this.
Sure.
I'm definitely going to do something on that one because that one is just kind of crazy to me.
When he got to that, it was bad enough when he's like, "Yeah, we need to do it so that she doesn't have to be the one who declares him the winner," which again, part of her fucking job.
Well, the fucked up part is that's not even looking at this deeper. If we want to really understand why the Democrats lost. Is this not the fact that he even said it? It's the fact that everybody in that room looked him in the face while he was saying it, and not a single person was like, okay, that's fucking stupid. Like none of them, actually, not a single person said it.
He didn't say it, but this guy, I'll bring him back up on the screen. This is their token Republican. He is laughing right here. He is doing his best to hold it back.
Okay, because I'm just like somebody in that room had to be like, dude, that's fucking insane. What are you saying?
At the very end, Dana Bash.
Oh, Monk, I'll be back.
Sure. Well, I was telling you. Now I have to wait. At the end, Dana Bash does say, "Oh, you're bringing the meme to the real world here." It's not a meme. There are people who want that done, and it's asinine. How fucking retarded do you have to be to say Joe can give the people what they want? Give the people what they want. The person they just didn't vote for. Paging Dr. Ums, thank you again. This would literally make the first U.S. female president in the history and unironic DEI selected hire without votes or merit. It would go with her whole career, though. She's never earned anything. Her entire political career was given to her. And for the record, guys, I mentioned this the other day on Twitter that I think Kamala is going to run for governor of California. I think that is her only possible way. Thank you, Dangerous. It says, a slight correction. Trump also won some states not requiring ID. Fair enough. Thank you. But I think her only way forward to where she can save any kind of face is governor. She can't go back to the Senate because that's a step down. She can't go into private practice because she's a bad lawyer. She doesn't have the charisma or personality. Oh, excuse me. I'm so sorry. I suddenly got the hiccups. She doesn't have the charisma or the personality to go on to television and be a host over there. She's got two real choices: governor of California or just disappearing. Yeah, she could go on the talk circuit, but nobody's going to pay much to listen to her. She'll become a millionaire for it and then just disappear. But she could be the next governor of California. Newsom is out in 26. He can't run again. I had a discussion with somebody about this. And, the lieutenant governor. I don't care about your lieutenant governor. If Kamala runs there, she's going to win because California was gifted to her. And now that there's so many liberals who think she was cheated out of her moment, she's absolutely going to, if she decides to run, she will win. Watch MSNBC hire her as a pundit. Even they know she's not. She just kills viewership. The View, again, see my last comment. You can have Joy Behar on and still get some views. You cannot have Kamala on and get views. Did you hear Kamala's campaign owes $20 million? Yeah. She raised and spent $1 billion in 3 months, in 107 days. Raised and spent 100 billion, 20 million. She spent $1 billion and owed money. Donald Trump spent something like, I think I heard the number at like 400 million. So for the second time in a row, a female candidate has outspent Trump and lost. Look, she's bad at her job. She's a bad candidate. She couldn't even make it to the starting line in 2019. She dropped out after spending 40 million. I thought that was bad. One of the biggest war chests at the time, and she burned through it like she burns through penises. What's up, my friend?
I don't know what the hell I just walked into.
Penises.
Penises. Hey, what's up, Squish?
Hi, monkey.
How you doing, sweetheart?
I'm good. I just got home from work.
Well, welcome home.
Why, thank you all.
Now, we were talking about how Kamala raised $1 billion and ended up $20 million in debt.
Yeah. It's kind of easy to lose money when you're fucking offering money to every influencer in existence to get them to endorse you. Did you see that shit?
Well, the funny part about it is with this, when the story came out, whoever their source was from the Kamala campaign said that they should have been spending more money on getting influencers.
Of course, because that's what people want. And that was another one of their downfalls. Is like Kamala going out to these black states and just like, oh yeah, get Cardi B to shake her ass in front of the Negroes. They'll like that. And black people were really mad at that. Like all the people who were there were like, they were just like, oh yeah, Kamala, that shit was lit. But a lot of people were saying they literally would go to Kamala rallies just for a free concert that they don't have to pay for.
Why wouldn't you? If you wanted to go see a concert and they're not coming to your city anyway and it's free, go see it.
Yeah, they didn't show it in a lot of the news reports or whatever, but a lot of the people who were talking, like the accounts of the people, because there was a lot of videos coming out talking about, I went to a Kamala rally and this is what happened or whatever. Mm-hmm. Most of those people left immediately after the entertainment was over.
Yeah, because that's all they were there for. The one that really made me laugh is we talked about when she went on the Call Me Daddy podcast. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, I heard about that.
It was really stupid. But it turns out she didn't fly out to where Call Her Daddy is. Instead, they paid over $100,000 to build a set in a hotel room and flew the host of Call Her Daddy out there to interview Kamala.
Yeah, and that was one of the biggest reasons why a lot of people like Joe Rogan and stuff like that, why he had so much of a problem, because she had these really strict parameters that she wanted to that she would only speak to him under. And I'm just like, bro, I don't know what the hell she thought she was doing.
She thought that if she just threw money at it, she could get the election. There's a belief that money is the problem in politics. It's really not. It is a problem because of how it is spent and stuff. Because like a ton of this money went to, I'm using air quotes, consultants. But people are like, we need to get the money out of politics. You shouldn't be able to buy an election. You can't buy an election.
Well, I mean, if anything would show that money is not the end all be all, it would definitely be this. This would be the shining example right there.
2016 showed us that, but they didn't take the lesson because it can't happen. Yes, it can. It happens a lot, actually. People who get outspent win if they have a better message. And when your opponent literally has no message other than that guy sucks, it's easy to have a good message compared to that.
Yeah, literally half of her campaign, if not most of it, was just like me, not Trump.
Yeah.
And that was it. It's just like, okay, what are you going to do about this? Me, not Trump. Do you like ham sandwiches? Me, not Trump. Trump hate ham sandwiches. You like ham sandwiches? Trump hate ham sandwiches. Trump gonna ban ham sandwiches. It's just like
he gonna ban the ham sandwich and lock you up and send the military after you. I had a discussion with a guy today who said Trump literally said he was gonna send the military after people he labeled enemy of the state.
Well, yeah, they said it on what was it? I think it was one of the clips that we saw later on in that show. They were just like, yeah, he said he's going to use the military to round up all of his political opponents. Yep. And they said he said that explicitly. Like, that's what he said. That was his plan. That's what he was going to do. I'm like, when? When did he say that?
Well, I asked this guy, I said, what was the question he was asked when he said that? Because I know the question. The question was, will there be violence with the election? And Trump said, not from our side. And she asked, well, what would you do if there was? And that's where he goes in to say, then I would, if necessarily, use the National Guard. And if it was really necessary, the military.
Yeah,
not against people that disagree with him, people who were being violent and rioting.
Yeah, but that line of questioning in itself was specifically to get him to say those words so they can soundbite it, just to be like, oh, Trump said he's going to do this. And they did that so much. They did it with the Liz Cheney thing. They did it with the what was the other big one before? It was like the first October scare.
It was the his Madison Square Garden thing with the comedian who said that Puerto Rico was a floating island of trash, which it is, except it's not floating; it's attached to the earth. But Frosted, thank you. I hope they make her president a couple months. Unironically, the first woman president will be a loser who had to be handed the office. The first woman elected won't get credit. Everyone will see what DEI leads to, and they'll know Dems are to blame. Every rational person will see it.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is the folks we're talking about aren't rational at all.
They aren't rational at all. And like I said, dude, they're not going to figure it. In this next 4 years is not when they're going to figure it out.
No.
Like it's not going to click until they lose the next election worse than this one. It's not going to click.
I think what's going to happen is they are going to so double down over the next 2 years that it's going to be almost intolerable. We saw this after 2016.
Now,
the only question is if they'll get away with it now that we can say what we want on Twitter.
Well, here's the thing, too. Putting my tinfoil hat on and going conspiracy mode. There's a part of me that thinks that the establishment Democrats are just like, you know what? Let's actually do that. Because if we do that and we lose so handily next time, we can go on with the narrative that Trump is trying to become king of America. And that'll work in our favor. We can really scare people then. But I'm just like, they can't be that stupid, right? Like,
well, I mean,
kind of crazy.
These are the people who are wishing children get raped and can't get an abortion. Welcome back, Jack. How you doing, man?
Let's not talk about me.
Fair enough.
Let's pretend that the Democrats do kind of wise up a little bit and dial it back. They'll just pull the same shit again during the next election season because they can't help themselves. Even when they dial it back, they still go to level 10 as soon as they get the chance. It's always hyperbole with them.
Well, I saw people I think it was either today or yesterday in one of the things I was watching, where they're like, we need to figure out how to get young men to think like us. Not
they can't
we,
because they're not women.
not we have to figure out why they feel the way they do. So what they're going to do is they're going to come back with some new tactic to try to push it.
Yeah, because communism's a cult. And
Yeah.
that makes it's a pseudo-religious cult. A cult of envy and greed.
And so that's what they'll do. They are going to double down, or at this point, quintillion double down.
Well, they're going to spend the next 4 years trying to diagnose or trying to fix a diagnosis that they made up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, they
Whereas-
love to do that. So
Yeah, because it's just like, here's the problem. And the tripped out part is like, this is one of those arrogant doctors that's been in the business for a really long time. And his nurses know way more than he does at this point, but he's above them, so he won't listen to them. And the nurses are like, bro, it's a tumor, man. Like, we already checked it. We looked at it, and he's like, shut up, bitches. You don't know what you're talking about. I'll tell you what it is, and I'll tell this person what it is, and we're going to solve it by doing this method. And
it identifies as something else.
And he's just gonna proceed to do 700 other procedures of like, I don't understand why this is working. And they're just like, bro, we already told you what it was.
That's the problem when you deal with delusional people. They don't always understand that they're delusional, and they refuse to accept that they are.
It is going to be entertaining watching them try to figure it out, because I can just see them like they're going to do this kind of half-ass, half-hearted, I don't really think that this is the problem, but let's try to go this angle type of thing. And they're going to walk into a room of black dudes and they're going to be like, all right, look, we heard that you guys had some grievances that might not have anything to do with what we may have thought. So we're going to let you guys explain to us why you're racist pieces of shit. Go ahead.
Please continue.
Yeah, go ahead. We're all ears. We want to hear why you're such racist, disgusting pieces of garbage. And then maybe we can come to some type of agreement and figure out how we can actually help you cure that.
Yeah, how can we fix you? Because it's clearly you that's the problem.
Yeah, they're not going to walk in and be like, okay, let's find out what your actual grievances are. Let's figure out, why you pushed us away. Like, what could we do to get back into your good graces as public servants? No, they're going to be like, you're a piece of trash. We're going to get you to admit it, and then we're going to help you help us help you.
Yeah.
Evolved Potato, thank you. If government wasn't all powerful and in everything, then money and politics would dry up. It's only so bad because they have power, so people want to get that power. Corruption is drawn to power. So if it is powerless, it wouldn't be as corrupt. I don't disagree with you there. My point, though, was it does not matter how much money is spent, and we just saw it in this election. Money is not the issue in politics. It never has been. Bob Menendez excluded. That's not to say there's never been an issue with any kind of corruption or bribery or whatever, but especially on the presidential stage. I mean, you're talking about people who typically have a long history of what they say and believe in, and the people who support them are giving them money because they support the same thing already.
Yeah.
This notion that so many of these politicians have sold out over money is just not true. Most of them already believe this shit. Like, that Republican, he took oil money. I bet he drives a gas guzzler too.
Well, also the idea that a whole bunch of people just turned racist overnight.
Oh, God, yeah.
Or the fact that like they literally just can't have anything else going on. And that's the narcissism with the left. That's the problem, is they think like, look, we already know if you're black, everything you could have possibly experienced. We already know if you're a woman, everything you could have possibly experienced, because my experience is obviously the universal thing. They think they have a bad case of main character syndrome.
Oh, absolutely.
Like everybody over there thinks they're the protagonist. And it's just bad, man.
I have a video I have not watched yet that I wanted to spend some time on.
Oh boy.
It's not quite the TYT meltdown from 2016, But from what we have seen of MSNBC, I've been looking forward to this since I found it. I purposefully didn't watch it.
Oh, I've actually been avoiding this one too.
This is 9 minutes of MSNBC from election night.
Oh God, no! This is going to be insufferable.
This is going to be wonderful. How dare you?
It's going to be both.
I got to go to the bathroom for 9 minutes. I'll be back.
Wait. Go ahead.
Anybody want to tell him how much he'll miss if he just goes for 9 minutes?
He'll miss none of it. We will wait.
Damn it.
And we are starting off with you know what's funny, Satsu? Earlier today we were talking. So the left, one of their things that they've been preaching the last couple of days is we need a Joe Rogan on our side.
Yeah, we need our own Joe Rogan. Yeah.
I don't know how they can say that when they have Rachel Madcow.
Well, the thing is, and somebody pointed this out, they had Joe Rogan's a lefty. He's a Bernie bro.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan was theirs, and they told him to go fuck himself.
Yeah, they literally said that he's a right-wing shill, and that's the whole reason for the statement. The reason they're saying we need a Joe Rogan because they're like, we need our own right-wing shill to puppet our talking points. And I'm like, okay, you think that's Joe Rogan for the right? That's kind of interesting.
And
I
was telling Satsu the history of Air America when the left was like, we only lost because Rush Limbaugh controls all of the AM radio, because everybody was listening to AM radio in the 90s. And so they made Air America, and it fucking collapsed on itself. And the only winner there was the stupid bitch on the screen here. That's where she came from.
Yeah.
And MSNBC said, we want to be losers. Get that ugly lesbian.
All the anticipation, all the excitement, all the anxiety, all the doom scrolling, all the manic refreshing of polling averages. It has.
Is that really loud for you guys?
It's a little loud, but her voice is like that.
I'm just going to bring it down a little bit because it's the music that's doing it for me.
Yeah.
All been leading to this hour. And we know you have every choice in the world for where to spend tonight. So we're really grateful that you're spending it with us.
And to all you smart people who watched it here with us, you're way better than their audience.
And we hope you'll be with us through the duration.
How's everybody doing? First time voting?
Yes.
How you feeling?
Good.
You guys doing okay too?
Yes, we're doing great. Kamala la.
I was going to ask who you're going to vote for, but I didn't need.
Do you think she threw that shirt away?
Probably.
50-50. Probably framed somewhere in the house.
Dude, do you remember that interview when that chick said, she's talking to Kamala, she said, we really need Mamala right now in the White House to take care of us. Fuck, I almost threw up in my mouth.
Well, I've said so often, I mean, these people, they treat government like it's their parents. Like, we need, remember the chick from Yale? Like, this is our safe space. This is supposed to be our home.
Yeah.
Because a professor wrote that it should be okay to wear a costume on Halloween.
Oh my God. Yeah, these college students with their, oh my God, these fascists are coming to have conversations with us.
Yeah.
Wait, I need you to say that again real slow.
What if they talk to us? What do we do then?
Time voting. As you know, this is where the Harris campaign wants to drive up the numbers to sort of counteract that T in the middle of Pennsylvania, to counteract the rural votes that the Trump campaign is expected to get.
And so what you've seen in the last couple of weeks, if this is an audition for managing a complex organization like the United States,
she racist as fuck.
Kamala Harris has passed the audition flawlessly.
She is literally the MSNBC's version of Sonny from The View.
Whoever put this video together, people, stop putting music on your videos, and if you're gonna put them on there, turn it the fuck down.
Yeah, that would be nice.
I have hated Joy Reid for a long, long time because she's an idiot. She one time tried to send her audience after me. because she said something stupid and I happened to be on as she said it. So I responded immediately. And she's like, this is what they do. They wait for you to post and then they say something that makes you look stupid.
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah.
I didn't make you look stupid. You did that.
Yo, can we talk about the copium that her parents, or the hopium that her parents had when they named her?
Maybe she is the joy Kamala was talking about. Keldrick, thank you. I told you mispronouncing Kamala's name was racist. I guess that only matters when they're not her supporters. Yeah, it's been a thing for a little while. And yes, by the way, that Joy Reid thing is 100% true. I do not understand why celebrities and politicians respond to a guy with a monkey avatar.
I don't know, but I'm glad they do.
Me too. It's fucking hilarious. Although since I pointed that out to Ted Lieu, he hasn't responded to me.
This has been, in many ways, a perfect campaign. And
What?
Oh yeah, that was her big thing. She's gonna say that like 30 times. She says that Kamala Harris ran the most flawless campaign we've ever seen.
She got owned by McDonald's fries.
She literally could not answer a question.
All right.
the campaign is talking about now is the granular get out the vote effort that you just don't see on the other side. On the other side, you're seeing Charlie Kirk going on X Twitter this morning and begging people to vote.
Charlie Kirk went to campuses. Look, I'm not a fan of that big-headed, small-faced weirdo, but pretending all he did was beg people to vote on Twitter, that's just wrong.
It's not true at all.
Not to mention, it's Donald fucking Trump. You don't need to go knock on everybody's door to tell him who he is.
No, you don't need to knock on anybody's door to tell him who he is.
You haven't had to do that since like 1984.
Right. I mean, the man had his own board game, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, back in the 80s. It's called Trump.
Just show people Home Alone 2.
Yeah, or his best-selling books.
People keep bringing up the garbage truck. The reason I pointed out the fries instead of the garbage truck, because the garbage truck was Biden's doing.
Yeah, that was Biden's gaffe. We'll let him keep his own.
Yeah, the fries was 100% her.
Yeah. Look, the garbage truck really didn't help her at all. Like Biden saying that. So it probably hurt her pretty bad. But the French fry thing definitely did not help her at all.
All jokes aside, though, Trump looked happy as fuck at that McDonald's, dude.
Yes, he did.
That is his mecca, man. That dude loves McDonald's.
Dude, I ain't never seen Donald Trump so fucking happy before. That man, he was like a kid in the candy store, dude.
Yeah, he's like, I could eat all of these right now.
Those were the freshest fries he ever ate.
He was having a blast. He's one of those people that doing those kind of stunts is like his total wheelhouse. I'm telling you, the man in a previous life was P.T. Barnum.
Yeah.
He is just a natural born showman.
All right. We are only a minute into this. See, I told you going away for 9 minutes wouldn't help you.
Damn.
Last week has been a very good close for Kamala Harris, not a good close for Donald Trump.
This was the lie they kept telling, and they started telling it about 4 days before the election. His momentum stopped. The momentum has shifted. She's done so well. And I just kept going, where?
Oh, yeah. They kept saying all the data points are showing that the Republicans aren't turning out like Donald Trump expected. And I'm just like, where are y'all getting this information from?
This is the same tactic as saying the Southern strategy when the parties flipped.
Ah,
and all the racists became Republicans.
There is no war in Ba Sing Se.
We've always been at war with Oceania.
Part of this nonsensical thinking comes from that Iowa poll, which I just want to point out. I was right. Iowa wasn't even fucking close. Not even fucking close. By the way, the lady who did that poll said she is going to go and look at the data and see what she got wrong. Like all of it. Like you couldn't have been more wrong.
Well, she needs to make sure and see exactly what it is she got wrong. That, outside of the everything.
What were the final Iowa election results?
Something. So much copium. Exactly, mofo.
Let's see. Trump won. I knew he won. Where is it? By 14 points. 14 points. And that Iowa poll, the most correct poll ever in the ever of ever, had her ahead by 3.
Dude, that's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Not only is that a blowout at plus 14, because that is, let's be honest, that's a blowout. Yes. But to be that far off from the polling, that's embarrassing, man.
And that just goes to show, like, they do literally reside in a different plane of existence. Like, they're not with us. They're somewhere else.
She went on Mark Halpern's show to explain why she was right and how there was no politics involved. She was only looking at the data.
Bullshit.
There is no way you only looked at the data and were off by 17 points.
No.
Oh, I mean, even if that was the case, I would never say it out loud, because that's literally just like, I'm really terrible at this. You should never trust me again.
And we're seeing that across the spectrum with liberals. I mean, we haven't had a chance to talk about it on the show yet, but liberal influencers across the board are losing subscribers.
Oh, yeah. And they are totally convinced that it's just really sad Democrats who are very upset at the results, so they need a break from his channel. That's what they think. Or at least one of them said that.
There's no self-reflection here. The fact that they lied to these people over and over, and not just with the stuff we've talked about, but with the election itself, giving people false hope is mean. It's not a nice thing to do to people. That's why, as much as I know you guys get pissed off at some of the stuff I tell you what I really think. Dangerous, thank you. Kamala's campaign lost the popular vote, the Electoral College, the Senate, and most probably the House. Do the words perfect campaign mean something different in the U.S. than in Australia? Yeah, apparently it's upside down here.
They still ain't called the House yet, because last time I saw, they were like, 4 seats away or something like that?
I haven't checked in on the House since 2 days ago. House election results 2024. 214 to 203 is what's being reported by the Associated Press right now. So they need to get another, 6 seats?
Yeah, like I feel like they're really holding on to this because the AP took a really fucking long time to call the election too. So I guess we'll see.
Yeah, they finally called it when I shamed them.
Yeah, I'm just like, what the fuck is taking so long? Like, Trump, he done gave his speech already. Like, what are y'all doing?
Yeah, the media itself, Satsu, I don't know if you were watching my show that night. I'm looking at Pennsylvania. I'm like, this needs to be called. There's no way she can win. It was like 5 minutes later, the people who had access to this before I did finally went, fine, we'll give it to him.
I think they were trying to stall. I really did.
Yeah.
They're like, people will get tired to go to bed and not riot and burn our place down.
There was somebody out there with a hammer on a water main just going to town hoping.
They're waiting for the protesters outside to doze off.
Yeah.
Thank you, Paige and Dr. Ums. Saw a clip from a news segment where a guy claimed Biden's internal polling pre-dropout was telling him Team Trump would have had 400 electoral. I told a Democrat today that if Biden, because they're like, Biden would have won, I'm like, Biden would have lost California. After that debate, Biden gets a shutout. He gets shut out in that election if he runs. For all of the people out there, Biden was a better candidate. They should have went with it. No, Kamala was their better choice. That is just fact.
Well, Nancy Pelosi blamed him too, because she was like, if he would have left earlier, we could have had an actual primary, because Nancy Pelosi did not want Kamala either. Or at least it didn't seem like it to me. It seemed like she wanted to actually do a full, have an actual primary.
I don't know who it is in the Democratic Party who loves her so much, but somebody really does.
Mm-hmm.
They're convinced that she could be a viable candidate for something. I don't know why.
I was going to phrase that in a way that probably wasn't advisable. Let's just say it's because she was a black woman.
Look,
Or Indian.
the only reason she is where she is because she could suck the chrome off a trailer hitch, and that's not a way to win an election.
Well, it depends what you're running for.
Well, I suppose. All right, back to the overly optimistic. We haven't even got to where the downturn has happened yet.
Hasn't been able to fill the rallies. He's addled. He has racist comedians opening. Whatever. It's been a trashy week for Donald Trump.
Only in the press. Nobody else cared. Even Puerto Ricans were coming out and going, that shit was funny.
Yeah, dude.
People have a sense of humor.
The one video I saw with the Puerto Rican lady was just like, bro, we've been having this trash epidemic in our fucking, like, for forever. Like, that's like common knowledge. Like, what do you mean? She was like, yeah, it was a joke and it was probably mean-spirited, but this is an actual issue here. We are suffering through this.
I think it was Bill Maher who pointed out the only person who actually talked about the trash problem in Puerto Rico was that comedian.
Yeah, well, dude, I had just saw an article, and this was random because I wasn't even looking for it. And it was one of those things where you read a headline and it like sticks with you, but you just like, you don't read the article or anything, but you just remember you saw it. There was literally an article about the trash epidemic going on in Puerto Rico. I don't even know what fucking publication it was from. I just remember I'm like, wait a minute, I just read something about that.
There have been several articles. I mean, this has been going on for a while. Some people are trying to blame it on Trump for his reaction to the hurricane that hit when he was in office. But the trash problem's been going on there because they've run out of places to put trash. I think they have 29 landfills and they're full.
Well, it's an island, and it's not exactly a huge island.
Yeah, they don't have room. Atomic Squid, thank you. It's funny some liberals want Harris to end her political career the way it started by getting an older man to lay down for her. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, she's running for governor.
How much more do they plan on embarrassing this woman before she's like out of the public sphere? Because I swear to God, it seems like if I was her, I'd be so fucking mad right now. Like outside of the fact that I lost and y'all put me up against a literal, quote unquote, convicted felon that is basically universally hated and made me lose in front of the world.
Yeah.
She's not smart enough to be upset by it. She thought she was going to win.
Oh, I'm sure.
The only reason she was as muted as she was is because her people were telling her she was going to lose. I did make a mistake, guys. Time to tell you when Monkey made a mistake. I mistakenly assumed they pulled their $2 million ad buy out of Georgia because their internals were telling them they were going to lose. No, it's because they already knew they were broke.
Oh, well,
yeah.
That's different.
Yeah, so I did get that part wrong. I was still right about how Georgia went because the polling all said it was going that fucking way. But anyway, back to the ridiculously happy people.
It's been a very strong week for Kamala Harris.
ASU, the campus that we're on right now, ASU students, the population is about 74,000. So a lot of people voting here. When it comes to a lot of the young women that we've been talking to, reproductive rights is huge. It's a big, big driver.
Reproductive rights with chicks on campus is huge.
They really made a mistake putting reproductive rights at the forefront of their campaign. And I know that sounds bad. Like some women might hear that and be like, what are you talking about? Because that was probably the biggest non-issue there is, considering Trump explicitly said that he wasn't going to do anything about it. It is in your state's hands, so all you have to do is vote in your state elections and you can change it. It's like the least problem they would have had to worry, the smallest problem they would have had to worry about, and they made it the forefront of the entire thing. I'm just that was such a bad idea.
Project 2025 said he was going to put a national abortion ban in.
You mean the thing he didn't write or wasn't associated with at all?
Yes. The thing he repeatedly denied association with.
The thing is, they don't know what else to go to women with, because if they try to appeal to moms, how are you going to appeal to moms by saying we're going to let boys in the bathroom with your girls? How are you going to appeal to them with we're going to raise prices on groceries? I'm sorry, she was going to get rid of grocery prices or whatever.
Price gouging.
Well, no. Price gauging.
Yes.
yeah. Gauging. My bad.
Yeah, price gauging.
They think that just by going abortion, the women will come. And it did kind of work for them in 2022. But we're past that. And there were bigger problems. And they're like, we'll just win it with the women's vote.
Well, it's a settled issue that's out of the president's hands. Like, it's because this is the thing that fucking blows my mind the most out of all of this is they like Trump's going to get in office and he's going to change this thing and it's going to be so easy because all he has to do is get in office and snap his fingers. I'm like, then why aren't the Democrats snapping their fingers right now to do exactly what you want to prevent? They're in office right now. If Trump has the power to do that as soon as he gets in, then they have the power to do it now.
You have a lot of hate in your heart. You know that.
I have a lot of fucking hate in my heart. You're right. I do. And it's
Random says women coming is why they need an abortion. I don't think you understand how babies are made.
Yeah.
Real quick. Thank you, Rogue Thought. This is in just from the New York Times. Trump beats 2 women. Trump did beat 2 women brutally. And they had it coming.
That was wasn't that was that the title of the SNL skit?
Might have been.
I didn't see the title of it.
Okay, I couldn't remember. I swear I heard that somewhere. It was either a title of a video that I saw, or maybe that
I've seen a couple of memes going around with his mugshot and then a picture of Harris and Hillary.
Yeah, my favorite joke is that he's now beat more women than Doug Imhoff, because that's just funny.
That's what we know of.
We know of.
Also, thank you, Dark Resurrect, for that feminist donation. The Chinese PSYOP P2025 said that abortion will be uber mega ultra banned. Yeah. I think a lot of the people doing this, what do they call it, 4B, this stupid, like, don't have sex with conservative men thing.
Yeah.
I think that's 4chan, but my backup is the Chinese pushing that to help reduce the population.
It's so stupid. We're not going to sleep with men. You weren't going to sleep with conservative men anyway. You're just punishing liberal men. Good luck keeping them on your side.
Yeah.
And once again, they're literally just pretending like women who aren't liberal don't exist. They're just like, well, just know if you voted Trump, don't expect to get laid. I'm like, did you forget that all those uneducated white women voted for Trump? They love spreading their legs, bro.
Yeah, apparently that's Korean feminism, I'm being told in chat. But I still say it started somehow on 4chan, because it's hilarious enough to be 4chan. Like the OK sign being white power, and it makes sense.
They pulled this shit after 2016 too. It just didn't get as much attention as it's getting this time. We covered it on the show.
Well, who wants to listen to a bunch of whores?
One, I don't believe you can keep your legs crossed that long.
No, because they're whores.
And 2, you saying, hey, I'm not going to sleep with men just means that false rape charges are going to go down.
Oh, yeah. Well, they're going to do those either way.
Well, somebody said, look at the bright side, conservative women. The dating market is about to be real good for you pretty soon.
Danger says 270 to win, has Trump at 216 to 209 in the House. Yeah, that still needs 4 more to take control of the House. You need 220 for control. It's going to be tight, but the Republicans should have the House. They took the Senate and the presidency. So, again, I still say this is a bad thing for Republicans, not because they can't get shit done, but because people like Mitch McConnell are still a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's plotting already. I told you about that earlier, Monk. I don't know if you want to look into that.
I might dig into that one deeper tomorrow. Right now, we're at 2 hours and 53 minutes, and I still have 7 minutes of this video to go.
Oh, shit. All right. Shut up.
It's a lot of the conversation that we're hearing.
We've got about 10 now completed of those rural, heavily Trump counties. We're talking about places where he's going to get 70, 75, 80% of the vote. In all 10 that have now been completed, Trump's vote share relative to 2020 has gone up.
I'm just going to give a couple of.
Whoopsie.
Oops.
This is where it starts to go bad. I haven't seen this, but that's got to be where it starts to go bad, because this is what I said about the early voting. early voting didn't matter. More voting did.
Yeah.
Early voting helps keep against cheating because they can't be like, yeah, exit polls showed early voting was 90% Republican, but the actual votes, 850% were Democrats. So that's where that was important, but you needed to have extra voting coming in.
Of like everybody take a breath warnings here. We don't know what's going to happen in Georgia. It's like a baby blue state, I'm going to say, and that it has not been blue for a long time.
It's a baby blue state that hasn't been blue in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
That all the polls said she was going to lose. Seriously, MSNBC, just pay me what you're paying them and I will increase the quality of your news 1,000%.
Right? No, I maintain that she probably would have done better in Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina if they had done a better response to the hurricane. Because a lot of people that would have stayed home went out to vote after that.
Speaking of which, did you guys hear that the what was the group, charity group that was supposed to be out there handling and helping people up? FEMA. Yeah, somebody and FEMA confirmed this and apologized for it. A lady lost her job because in her instructions for the people, the workers out there, she said avoid houses with Trump signs.
Yep.
That shit fucked me up. I'm like, that is some ghoulish shit right there.
Yeah, that's just evil. Like you're turning people down that are desperate, whose entire lives have been destroyed. And you're turning them down because they're a political party. You're a fucking monster.
I'm like, dig that bitch a hole under the worst prison and just put her in it. Just throw her in that bitch and forget and walk away.
Except the thing is, they told us that wasn't happening. They specifically told us, nuh-uh. And then once again, that shit comes out. I think North Carolina, I think the hurricane played a part there. But again, just going by the polls, Kamala was losing all along in Georgia. She never had a chance there.
No, but she would have done better. I mean, look at the percentages there, 52 to 46. Man, she got spanked, and not in the usual way she gets spanked.
Well, you don't think $750 was enough for those people?
Shockingly, apparently not.
And that was what? I think that was supposed to be a month or something like that? Or was it like just $750, just a one-time payment?
One-time payment.
Meanwhile, undocumented immigrants were getting $300, $350 a week for just food.
Well, yeah, but they're special people.
$350 a week for just me and my wife saw that shit. We were so fucking mad. I'm like, wait, what?
For the record, she did close this gap a little bit, but not by much. The final was 50.7 to 48.5 once they counted the bigger blue districts. To lose that much in the state that Joe Biden totally won, you guys, I would never question election results. It's just funny.
Yeah.
Editor, thank you. Monkey, if you trace all this BS back to its origin point, would it be Gamergate then leading up to the intersectional feminism? No, it goes back even further than that. I mean, this goes back to communism on college campuses in the 60s. This is where you start getting your class warfare, your race warfare. As things are getting better, they're like, let's make them worse. And then you get into the 80s and everybody's getting along and they're like, do you know what black people experience? No, because there's too many of them for me to just generalize them that way, you fucking racist. No, it's the same shit that's been going on since the 1920s. Anyway.
It is a hard state for the Harris team.
One of the things that was so striking about the public polling and the public data going into this election was that
it's Rachel's fat little sister.
On the right.
Public polling said this is the closest race that we've ever had.
Yeah.
Basically. I mean, that was the consensus view. And there was a real question about, well, maybe the public polling's wrong and maybe it's going to miss.
You guys were not saying that. No, you weren't. No.
Maybe the public polling's wrong
Frosted, thank you. Notice we haven't heard from Lalo lately. Weird. They haven't found the body yet. I'm sure he's somewhere hanging out.
Somewhere out there where dreams come true.
Yes, a few points in one direction or another. We don't know at this point. It's very early in the evening. But I would say at 8:50, like, it's a very, very close race.
Yeah, I'd say that if you are just joining us right this second at 8:52:06, and I had to summarize what's going on, no surprises.
Yeah, right.
Pretty much.
That is fair. At that point, there. I mean, we said that so many times with the results coming in. Editor, thank you. Maybe the rise of social media exasperated it. Oh, 100%. The rise of television started it. The rise of the internet definitely made it all worse.
That's what's happened thus far. In Georgia, it's too close to call. In Pennsylvania, it's too close to call. In Wisconsin, it's too close to call. In Michigan, sing it with me now. It's too close to call. Whew.
They called 5 points too close to call. And that was Trump losing at that point. Oh, they're so bad at their job. I'm a dude with a monkey avatar in a basement. Just saying. Oh, also, I have a GED. I'm a high school dropout.
Uneducated white man.
I'm an uneducated white man. The amount of money on that stage there spent on degrees is astounding. It's probably more money than came through my house when I was a child from birth till adulthood.
Yeah.
But don't worry. They're the ones you should listen to.
Let's be blunt. I think when you watch what Donald Trump did in 2020, what Democrats were fantasizing about was a landslide victory. And so some of what was wanted and desired was a sweep that really wasn't on the table. We lived.
Yeah, kind of weird that you got close to that in 2020. And then 15 million people disappeared. Dangerous, thank you. I'm not as smart as an MSNBC commentator, but bear with me. I feel like if Harris had got more votes in all the states she lost, she would have done better. I know. That's just crazy talk, right?
I don't know. I can't really get behind that one.
Who's the bitch in the mint green? Oh, fuck. What is her name? We've watched her many times.
Nicole Wallace.
Nicole Wallace. Thank you. She is a hardcore liberal retard. There are whole compilations of her telling lies on her shows. Just flat out lies.
Live in an evenly divided country, and it creates anxiety, but it also requires patience.
It is fairly shocking. And I don't think it's something that should make us super proud. You just think about just the last 2 weeks and the things that Donald Trump has said. If all of that
Wait. Are we going to think about the things he said or the things you guys said he said?
Well,
that's the same thing.
Well, that's the big thing with a lot of Democrats in this election is like, how could you vote for him when he said this? How can you vote for? I'm like, here's the thing. All the things you believe are wrong. So I know that sounds crazy, but like 90% of the things you believe he said or didn't happen. They're not real. So that's how. It's pretty simple.
The press would lie to us? That's impossible.
Be careful, though. Elon is spreading misinformation.
To half of the votes?
48, 49%.
What does it tell you? I mean, we need to really take a step back and think about what does that say about us?
I mean,
You
blue
liars.
wall, baby, there was always going to be a blue all night. Some of the fantasies, right, of a landslide victory that would erase any doubt, that would eradicate, the.
This is the second time she's brought up this fantasy of a landslide. I think that was you, lady.
It's like they're talking about it like they're not talking about themselves.
Okay, we just watched another one of them. I think it was Rachel Maddow's fat little lesbian sister there, who talked about how everybody was saying it was close, and she's like, "This fantasy of a landslide. Where were you getting that? Nobody was talking about a Kamala landslide. Literally nobody.
When I was in creative writing classes,
they
would do these weird things where they'd like do little workshops. You'd sit around a table with like 3 or 4 other people, and then you'd take turns adding to the story. So somebody would throw a sentence out, and then somebody else would add a couple sentences. And it's sort of like that with these people. They collectively build on what somebody else at their group said, and then that becomes the doctrine. So Trump may believe this, and then somebody else changes it to Trump does believe this. Or somebody associated with Trump said it, but they interpret it as Trump saying it. So then it just builds on it. It's sort of like a telephone game, but dumber.
Dude, one of my favorite comments to see during this whole thing was what Backscam put in the chat. Where it was like, yeah, we really thought it was going to be a landslide. I'm like, it was.
It was, yeah.
Like, it was. It was absolutely a landslide. 100%.
Midas Touch and other nutcars thought it would be a Kamala landslide. Well, I mean, if you're listening to Midas Touch, you're touched anyway.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying Nicole Wallace isn't. She could very well be retarded.
She's not that smart, so it's a possibility she's retarded. Yeah, it's hard to phone Tailfin, and yeah, Q. And then there were laser beams, and then Trump said he was gonna kill all the puppy dogs.
If I run the MSNBC news division, I fire her over this. This was so bad. Anyway, all of the people on that stage would be fired if I ran the place.
Yeah.
The threats. I think it's going to be a late night. The polls have accurately captured this dead heat.
Ari, since you were last.
Did they now? The dead heat where a Republican wins the popular vote by 5 million last I saw? Sure. Why not? What was the electoral? 232 to 312? Something like that?
Something like that.
So close. So close.
Last with us. I've got nothing to report.
Well, the crowd here is still large, is still loud, but
it's a Kamala crowd. I did you guys see that when she gave her speech the next day?
It was something.
It was amazing how many women in that audience had a lot of meat where their bicep is or should be.
The funny thing was the music selection. The music that they were playing, they were literally playing victory music, waiting for her to come out and announce that she lost. I'm just like, y'all, bad decisions all through this.
Sorry about that. Right? My finger started twitching. I hate when my hand does that. I don't like not having control of myself.
Have you ever seen that movie?
The word that
no, but I know what it's about, and I will never watch it because of how my hands sometimes think for themselves.
I'm starting to think that that's what your hand did, or Evil Dead. It got in my hand and went bad.
No, it's just that, the nerve issues. It's a pain. It's really fun in a shooter game where you're trying to be quiet and not alert the guards.
Fuck stealth. Oh, by the way, the official count was 312 to 226. So
226. Okay.
Yeah, you were right.
Keep hearing.
I was close. I was off by 3 for her or 4 for her.
Whatever. Do we count DC? Really?
I think she ended up taking all of the main ones because Maine splits their vote. I think she ended up getting all of those.
But she got 2 out of 3 because Trump got one of them.
Then how the hell did he only get? Never mind. Not worth it.
Is the idea that people here are nauseously optimistic, not just cautiously optimistic, but nauseously optimistic. The real focus now is on that blue wall in the Midwest. They knew.
I'm so hopeful I might puke.
Nauseously optimistic. What even is that?
Denial. Naughtiest thank you. Told you it was going to be Trump 300. Like I said, I got Arizona wrong because I don't trust Arizona's voting.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
knew that this was going to be a long night and that it was going to be a real nail biter, and it appears that that is exactly what we're looking at right now.
We've been saying for weeks, says Ms. O'Malley Dillon, quote, that this race might not be called tonight. Those of you who are around in
I told you it
2020
would
know
be.
this well. What we do know is this race is not going to come into focus until the early morning hours.
Part of the says that, and then you look at the bottom corner, and it's 153 to 214. It's not coming into focus till tomorrow, guys.
Yeah, and it should be noted by the time that this says 214 on here, we don't have a timestamp on their thing. But by this time, Georgia and North Carolina should have already been called.
Yeah.
They were dragging their feet. It made sense that Pennsylvania wasn't yet and Michigan hadn't been. But those two definitely should be colored red already.
Is to say to the people on the team, hang in there, guys. Like, it's not over. We're still getting votes in. We still need to keep talking to people, keep people in lines, tell your grandma it's going to be okay.
We now have an NBC News call in the first one, Joy. North Carolina called for Donald Trump.
Yeah, and so it was,
We now have all the vote in Luzerne County. Donald Trump is going to win this by a little bit more than 21 points. 4 years ago, it was 14. We also saw him make those gains in Lackawanna County right next door earlier tonight. Democrats wanted more of a Trump drop-off here. They don't get it in Lebanon County.
I kind of wish we'd seen this live. I would have been making fun of this guy.
Yeah. At least he's trying to be kind of honest.
I mean, he's explaining the differences there, but those differences right there meant they should have called it. This is what I was talking about that night. The way that they call this is based on voting trends. And he's just like, yeah, he's up 6% from where he used to be. we don't know who's going to win it yet.
Can I point out that it looks like Jen Psaki probably volunteered to be on this panel because it makes her look more attractive?
It could be that. And they really thought Kamala was going to win, so they wanted Joe Biden's literal mouthpiece to be the one to call it.
Probably.
I like his old mouthpiece better than his new one.
Need Sideshow Bob?
I hate her ass. She makes me very angry every time she speaks.
I like her just because of her reaction when it's Peter's turn to ask a question.
Dude, their exchange is the only reason I even fucking know what she looks like.
The bitch visibly sighs when it's his turn before he said a word.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the sexual tension is just off the chart.
Oh, he'd probably be destroying her after every fucking...
I hope he does. I hope they hate fuck. All right.
Tonight in 2020, Joe Biden won here by essentially 27 points, sits at about 24.5. In Chester County, more significant drop-off for Harris from Biden. Next door in Montgomery County, Harris is now running a point behind where Joe Biden finished in this county. Biden won this by 4.5 points in 2020. Trump has now taken the lead in Bucks County.
NBC News now projects
Bucks County, the one where they tried to stop people from voting.
Yeah.
The MSNBC just couldn't figure out if it was true despite the video evidence of it.
that in the battleground state of Georgia in the presidential race, Donald Trump has prevailed. The Republican Party will control.
Is this in order? Did they call North Carolina before they called Georgia?
I think they did.
All right.
The United States Senate. This is live from Howard University in Washington, D.C.
We still have votes to count.
No, you don't.
We still have states that have not been called yet. We will continue overnight to fight to make sure that every vote is counted.
Oh, he said the F word.
He did. He said fight. He's asking for an insurrection.
Oh, yeah. You're not supposed to say that. As a matter of fact, one of my posts on Twitter when Kamala came up and did her I lost speech, she said fight like twice in the first 2 minutes.
Yes. We're not giving up this fight. Yep.
Clearly a call to Antifa.
Can I ask why they sent a man out to do this instead of sending a woman out?
Reasons?
I mean, y'all sent the black man to go tell these people. You gave him the worst job of the night. That's kind of fucked up, really.
things Mike if I look at his face there too. He is not happy about being there.
Oh, they knew. At this point, they knew. Because this is right before Pennsylvania gets called on the national level.
Yeah, I still find it pathetic that she didn't give a speech that night, even just to tell people to go home. It was that same bullshit like Hillary pulled.
Oh yeah, I put that up too. I'm like, don't be a fucking coward. Like, address your people. Like, what do you mean? Y'all gotta wait until tomorrow.
It's probably done for the exact same reason that was done with Hillary. She did not prepare a concession speech.
Yeah.
Dangerous.
Still not an excuse.
Dangerous. Thank you. Trump called white supremacists very fine people and said he wanted to execute Liz Cheney. He's a Russian colluder who wants to ban abortion and enact Project 2025. And he used misinformation to win. Yes. He's a dastardly bastard.
I think she goes by Mrs. Information now.
Greg says all the women in her team were probably crying. They were, I guarantee it. Because at this point, they knew it was over. If I could see it on the screen, I guarantee you they could. And it was not a coincidence that it's half an hour before it's called that she leaves.
Ran away.
Because remember, at this point, Georgia, North Carolina have already been called. Pennsylvania won the election for Trump. The rest of it didn't matter.
A short and to-the-point statement from Cedric Richmond, the Harris campaign co-chair. You now see them turn as one to start to leave the grounds.
The evening was getting increasingly somber as people realized what this map is looking like. They turned off the TV set and just piped up the music because...
She said they turned off the TV set. They didn't actually turn off the set. They just turned off the volume to it so they couldn't hear it. Which is even funnier to me because it was like, if they can't hear it, they can't read.
Well, I mean, I've met some of her supporters, so it's 50-50 on that.
The room was starting to get increasingly somber.
You know, we always knew it was going to be down to the blue wall, and the blue wall is still uncalled at this point. But
it wasn't up to the blue wall at that point. As long as he had those 3 states and took the other expected states, he had 270. It was over. How many times did I say this that night?
Oh, you must have said it 100, but obviously these clowns weren't listening to you.
What was it? What was the other state that they were was it Alaska and Pennsylvania they were procrastinating on, like right before he won because they didn't want to see the 70 before everybody went to bed or whatever.
There were some people that hadn't called Alaska 2 days later. It wasn't even close.
Yeah, I mean, it's Alaska. It goes red just about every time. It's like California. Polls are closed. You got a really good shot at just guessing.
They drug their feet on Wisconsin, which should have been called much earlier. Pennsylvania, which should have been called much earlier. Georgia and North Carolina, I actually thought they did a decent job. Not these guys, because we weren't watching them. Most of the places did a decent job calling those quick. But yeah, Pennsylvania and Wisconsin were 2 that they really drug their feet on that night. And then, with the 3 from Alaska is what technically puts him over the 270 with everything else. And then everything, Michigan, Wisconsin, Nevada, and Arizona are just gravy at that point.
Sounds like the Harris campaign is sort of keeping things tight in terms of whether or not they're going to string people along into thinking this is going to happen.
What they went to that venue tonight hoping to see.
Bro.
So, bitch.
She gave up 20 minutes ago.
And witness was a historic election of Kamala Harris to the presidency. Was the end of the Trump era as they knew it. And so we don't know the outcome yet, but that is not what they are receiving. And they are being told to go home and wait till tomorrow.
And nothing that was true yet.
They broke Chucky. Son of a bitch.
Bro.
Yesterday about how flawlessly this campaign was run is not true now. I mean, this really was.
Wait. Hang on.
flawlessly this campaign, and nothing that was true yesterday about how flawlessly this campaign was run is not true now. I mean,
Joy, watch this back and listen to what you just said. No, it was still flawless. I'm telling you, it was still flawless. Then how did she lose?
How low are your standards?
Mine? They're very low, ladies. Very low. Oh, sorry, something else.
I mean, this really was an historic, flawlessly run campaign. She had Queen Latifah never endorses anyone. She came out and endorsed. You know, I mean.
So the chick who never endorses somebody endorsed her, so that means it was flawless.
Queen Latifah, of all people, that was her metric. Like, oh yeah, her campaign was flawless because some lesbian voted for her.
Wasn't Queen Latifah? Didn't she campaign for Barack?
Probably, but she hasn't been relevant in like 20 years.
I swear she campaigned for somebody.
The fact that she even brought up her name, I was just like, oh, okay. I guess she's still around.
Last time she was acting. Is she still acting?
Yeah, she's in that shitty Equalizer show.
All right.
I mean, she had every prominent celebrity voice. She had the Swifties. She had the Beehive. Like, you could not have run a better campaign.
Should we tell her? Should we tell her that was her downfall? Should we tell her that the problem was the fact that all these Hollywood elites, the people who can't relate to her base, that was the issue? Or you think she'll figure it out?
I don't think she'll figure it out, but I say we don't tell her.
The Democrats ran on protecting women and then paraded out a whole bunch of people who were friends with the guy on video beating the shit out of a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Who went to his weird sex parties.
Mm-hmm. But what's your point, though? Like, what I hear you. Yeah, like, what it sounds like you're trying to make a point, Monkey.
I'm trying to find the flawlessness in this flawed campaign.
Well,
I think you just don't get it.
Yeah, you got to be as flawless as them to really grasp it. You have to firmly grasp it.
Do you think that the political class, because they've always courted celebrity endorsements and stuff, and they all came out full-throated for this bitch, and it didn't matter. Do you think in the next cycle they'll be like, you know what, you stay over there?
Well, let's talk about specifically why it didn't matter in this instance. It didn't matter in this instance because she was masquerading as a middle-class person who grew up just like we did, who understood what we went through. And then she had a whole bunch of celebrities to back that up and be like, yeah, we know what you guys are going through. Don't worry about the economy. It's not nearly as bad as they're saying. It's totally fine for us rich people who were unaffected by it in almost every conceivable way. Yeah, trust me. Trust us, guys. And I'm just like that. I mean,
that's fair. That's fair.
Work.
I mean, she was trying to run the Scranton Joe campaign while hanging out with celebrities and shit. Joe could get away with that because he did, but he was also more. All right, let's just say his idea of a celebrity is still Barbara Streisand.
Also,
nobody cares.
Joe was a little more honest about the state of the economy too. He kept saying that I had the most impactful presidency of all time, but he was saying like, because Joe was playing that mind trick where he's like, we set this on fire, and then look how much water we poured on the fire we started. It's almost gone. Like that was his thing. It's like the fire's way smaller than it was, and I'm like, nigga, I remember you starting it. Like I was there. I saw it happen.
Have a good night, Jonathan. Faithless says, oven billionaire Oprah asked for $1 million to be seen with her. Yeah. That was part of that $1 billion that Kamala's campaign spent, was $1 million to hang out with Oprah.
Oh my God. Oprah, like, I'm getting a payday out of this one, bro.
I mean, if I had to spend time with Kamala and I could get paid for it, I'd absolutely.
Man, you see how much she was offering influencers? It was anywhere from $25,000 to $50,000.
Yeah.
That's set they were on for that "Call Me Daddy." The Harris campaign paid to build that.
Yeah.
It's sad.
They spent over $100,000 doing that. Who was I watching that talked about it? They said they could do it for like $6,000, not counting, the labor for it. And looking at it, I could do it for probably $400 easy. Let's see, there was a couple of sweatshirts, a little bit of wood, and some paint. Maybe the chairs.
Yeah, I mean, like the hotel doesn't have a convention hall you could use.
Yeah. But she wanted to make it look like, no, she actually went to the studio, which was fucking stupid.
Yeah, that's
anyway. We got a minute of these idiots left. I won't want them to cry.
In Western Europe and in the UK and in the Middle East, people are waking up to this.
Oh, and they are.
I've gotten people from Western Europe who are extraordinarily alarmed and terrified.
May I reiterate, there are 2 of the 7 swing states that have been called by NBC News right now, which is Georgia and North Carolina. None of the other 5 states have been called at this point.
And given just that we can tell from the timing, you should have already called Pennsylvania. This race was over. This is why this is what we were talking about earlier with the influencers and how they've started to lose subscribers and stuff. You can only lie to your audience so long.
Mm-hmm.
Before, if you're a liberal and you're watching this shit, even as bad as CNN's coverage, I'm sure was, you're going, no, fuck this shit. I'm going to go watch. Maybe the other lefty channel is better.
It's fine. You can see this is the battleground states, Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin, the so-called blue wall. None of those states called by NBC News. In the swing state of Pennsylvania, NBC News now projects that presidential contest has been won by Donald Trump. It presents an insurmountable future here for Kamala Harris and for the Democratic
That was the end of the race right there.
Let's watch as Trump takes the stage in Palm Beach, Florida.
It sounded like she was trying to hold in. It sounded like she was about to cry.
Is the rest of this just his speech? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that fucking speech was way too long.
Yeah, he rambled. He clearly hadn't prepared a speech. He rarely does anyway.
I'm like, Trump, shut the fuck up, man. Like,
you want to go to bed.
Just like,
at that point, I did. I was so tired. I needed sleep. I love that Rachel is the one that had to give the call there. I think they should have made Jen Psaki do it though. I'd have been like, you tell him. That speech was great. That speech was not great. It was rambly, and it was Trump at 4:00 in the morning is what it was.
Yeah, he looked so tired.
That shit was a mess. He was trying his best to hold it together.
Lester Logic said apparently at that point Trump had been up for 72 hours straight. You know what I hadn't even thought of until somebody mentioned it when I started the stream. For the second stream in a row, I used a picture from Kamala's concession speech, and they mentioned how tired she looked. She didn't look tired at any point during the election, and we found out why when Shannon Sharp asked her sleeping schedule. And the bitch running for president, who did all that she could do, was getting 9 hours of sleep a night.
Well, I mean, she needs her beauty sleep.
You got to get that beauty sleep, but she definitely did not get it election night. She was up all night. So even going home, she didn't get any sleep, which is it wrong that I think that's funny?
Maybe she didn't get any sleep, but she got some evening drink.
I think Doug probably hit her a few times and she couldn't sleep because it burned still or something like that. But I have no proof that he beats Kamala. But he probably does. Once a beater, always a beater. That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Circle back to the results. We'll circle back to that. Oh, that was fun to watch. I feel like there's probably better clips of them just melting down. This one, they just got a little sad. And of course, apparently Western Europe was calling some weird chick on MSNBC to express their concern.
Yeah, who the fuck cares what the Europeans think? They can't vote.
Yeah, they were concerned, all right. Like, oh shit, he's gonna make us pay for our NATO dues.
Good.
Poor Kamala, she must be so sad. She will be. Remember, losing an election's got to be hard. It's literally a popularity vote, and millions of people told you they don't like you.
Yeah,
What was
they were.
There was a movie, Jack Lemmon and Rockford Files guy. What the fuck's his name? Garner. They were American presidents, and they had each won and lost. And they have a speech in there about that, about how it's millions and millions of people. James Garner, thank you. Millions of people telling you they don't like you. And like, ooh, that's got to suck. That's got to be almost as hard as being a streamer.
Mm-hmm. There was a lot of foreign accounts I saw on Twitter, just like, I don't understand how this is such a hard thing for Americans. One's a criminal and the other's. I'm just like, shut up. Like, you don't understand anything because you're over there. So mind your business.
I forget who it was that pointed this out to me, but anytime somebody tells you that Trump is a criminal or a felon and he was found guilty, ask him what the charges were.
Yeah, 2 words. Of what?
Literally, if you take their case, the absolute worst thing that happened was some numbers got put on the wrong place on a form. That's it.
I fucking stopped one of those people pushing the insurrectionist stuff the other day. I'm like, Google, look, insurrection. Okay, you keep saying that. It was absolutely an insurrection. How about you go Google how many people got charged for inciting an insurrection during the insurrection? Go ahead, take a look. So he was like, all right. So he took out his phone and he looked it up. And I'm like, you find the answer yet? He was like, hold on. I don't think this is a good source. I'm like, what does it say?
0.
Literally 0. Not a single human being has been charged with inciting an insurrection during the 100% absolute guaranteed insurrection.
Yep.
How strange.
I was talking to people because somebody said, who was it? Somebody who used to work for Trump and known him forever. Was it Scaramucci? One of them said that once you wrong Trump, he never lets go. He will get his revenge. And I simply said, so he sent Hillary to prison, right? And somebody shot back at me. They tried, but they couldn't find any crimes. And they linked a story. And in the story, it doesn't say they couldn't find any crimes, because that's not what the report said. It said they found crimes, but they didn't think they were intentional, which, by the way, doesn't matter.
It's never mattered for any of us. If you accidentally don't pay your taxes, they'll still charge you with not paying your taxes.
Tell the cop you were accidentally speeding and see how it works out for you.
He'll
just
accidentally write you a ticket.
And that's just a civil ticket. We're talking about, and then there weren't a lot of top class or classified documents that were up here. Not a bunch of them. There were just a few.
Well, you remember the shift for the Haitians or whatever that were taking over the apartment complexes?
Oh yeah.
The news media was like, this is a absolute fabrication. Do not believe it. It is a right-wing conspiracy theory. The mayor has already come out and said this is not happening. Don't believe it. It is a complete lie. And this proves that Trump is a racist, because it is a 100% lie. And then just recently, one of the ladies was like, there was a handful of incidents that were taken care of immediately. And the dude's like, I think it was JD Vance. He's like, bro, Yeah, he's like, wait a fucking minute.
Like, listen to what you just said.
It was just a handful of incidents. Oh, okay.
Yeah, because somebody released one of the 911 calls about it. Like, fuck you,
dude. There was
people.
video footage out when they were saying it was a hoax.
Yep.
Yeah. Ridiculous.
Dangerous. Thank you. Kamala was endorsed by people like 1, a singer who sang about bad relationship decisions. 2, a singer actress who dated P. Diddy. 3, a guy who knocked up the nanny. She then asked us to trust their judgment. Yeah. But you know what? They could have got away with all of that if she hadn't been trying her I'm just one of you normal people kind of bullshit.
Yeah, if she would have kept it real and came from a point of empathy and was like, look, the way I grew up is a lot different than you guys. I couldn't imagine the suffering that you guys are going through. I couldn't imagine how this is affecting you, but it doesn't matter because as an elite, I am coming to you, and as you know, a person who was not affected by this, I want to still make this better for you because there's too many elite people out here who can't sympathize. They won't sympathize. They don't understand what you guys are going through, but I do. If she ran on that, she would have had a significantly better chance.
In theory, yes, but did you see her when she interacted with regular people?
Well, that was the problem, is they would have known that it was bullshit the moment she had to interact with them because she acted around them like a person that has never been to a bad neighborhood and they use a handkerchief to grab everything.
Yes. If she saw herself in a reflection, she'd cross the street to get away from the dark person. Yeah. She's. Did you see the story? I don't know if you saw it, Satsu, that before the election, it was right around the time that they were like, yes, we're going with Kamala.
Mm-hmm.
A story came out about how she went to a donor's house and she had to have a practice dinner.
Yes, I remember that. They did a rehearsal and everything.
Yeah, she is so bad at just being human. And every time, this is what cost her in 2019. She had all of the media hype. She had all of the fucking money. And she kept making a fucking ass of herself. And they tried to make that a win here with Kamala dancing. They tried to do the Trump thing because Trump dances like an old man would dance.
Uh-huh.
And Kamala dances like a retarded person with a crooked leg on meth. And they're like, no, she's doing the mom dance. Like, no, she's awkward. And every time she talks
like Elaine in Seinfeld.
Yeah. And they're like, no, she's brat. Like, no, she's old and out of touch. And you know what? You can dance like a weirdo, but then when you talk to people, you still have to be nice and normal, and she's just not. That video, again, if you guys have not watched it, go see it, of her with her best friend since kindergarten is one of the most awkward interactions I've seen. And that is supposedly her best friend for 55 years? You can't have a normal conversation with your best friend for 55 fucking years? Have you seen that video, Satsu?
I don't think I did see that.
Oh, you should look it up. It is
awful.
cringy.
I don't know if I want to watch that.
Oh, it's so bad. It's so bad.
I feel like I don't want to see that.
It's her trying to be human. It's like she's studied I think you might be right, Jack. She's an alien. She studied the species. She's Jeff Bridges from Starman.
Yeah.
We got through this entire stream without even talking about her fucking accent swaps.
Oh, God. She never did the one I wanted. I wanted her to go full Kyle's mom. I needed her to break out of the Jewish accent because it would have just been the best.
The most egregious one is that shit she pulled off at the church when she was trying to do her black pastor voice.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh my God.
It wasn't even a good one.
Oh my God. I'm like, oh no. And then, she really fucked up. A lot of people don't know this, especially like if you're not black, this probably didn't resonate with you a whole lot. But that moment when she went on that whole collard green thing, when she was like, yeah, I make a good pot of collard greens. We made them so good. There was so many we had to make them in the tub. And I'm just like, dude, the collective black community was like, bitch, what? You put them where?
Yeah,
where
that's
you
a-
wash your ass? Like, no. Who the fuck does that?
How unsanitary.
No, my favorite was when she accidentally called them colored greens before somebody corrected her.
Yeah.
Like,
or her story about how I'm the only president, I'm the only vice president to grow peppers on the fucking White House, whatever. And I'm just like, who the fuck do you think you talking to? You think these niggas out? Do you think all of these people got pepper gardens in their backyard and they just like, oh, you got my vote there? Like that? What are you talking about, dude? She bringing the black out of me. I gotta go to bed.
Yeah, we're wrapping up. It is 2 hours and 40 minutes into the stream. I've been up since like 9 o'clock. I'm exhausted. So, guys, thanks for coming and hanging out with us. Thank you so much for the donations. You guys are way, way too kind. Jack, anything you want to show?
I'll drop a link to some stuff. As always, guys, thanks for the donations. You guys are awesome.
Satsu, my friend, thank you so much for hanging out, man.
Yeah, glad to be here. Oh, guys, real quick, I'm gonna drop the link to the channel one more time. This is my new channel. I've resurrected the 2 Cents Plus channel, and I've been making a lot of content. You guys have been coming out a whole lot with a lot of enthusiasm. A lot of people seem to be glad that I'm back, which is really nice. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. I'm gonna be doing live streams pretty soon also. So just be on the lookout for that. Make sure you're clicking the notification bell so you guys are alerted. It should be fun.
If you guys are watching this pretty soon, the chat won't have been added yet. I will add this to the description so you guys can check out the channel. Guys, thanks for watching. Jack, Satsu, pleasure as always, gentlemen.
Yep.
Always glad to be here.
Everyone, have a wonderful night. Take care of yourselves. We love you, and we will see y'all. Oh, wait. I did stream over on Twitch. I've been doing it now and then. Check that out if you want to. Bye, guys. Take care. We'll see you next time.
Have a good one.
Everybody.
I gotta sing a song to you. I'm making Satsu stay up with this stupid song. So I'm gonna see if I can sing it long time.
Motherfucker, if you don't end this stream.
Stuff.